12:35 now. All right. I was laying down, trying to go to sleep. Just got done with my dash. You guys saw that. I was out dashing, came back. I'm working all day. All right. Well, I'm going to sleep. And now I got somebody walking into the room once again at 12:30 at night to switch over the clothes. Leaves the doors open, makes sure to be a disturbance. And I said, hey, I'm trying to sleep. And she starts insulting me. It's insane. It's insane. It's insane. I don't want to have to do this, but I might need to file to stop the harassment. All I want is to have that door, have this room sacred for a time so I can make my way, work, and then get the hell out of here. That's what I want. That's all I want. She lied to the police. She said that she was going to make arrangements before she comes barging into the freaking room. Now she's in here at 12:30 at night. Right now, I still have the recording going on that has all of this documented. I have the recording going on. So now we have been able to corroborate the information between the recording on the audio and the video on my YouTube here. Okay? This is a problem. I've been talking about this as a problem. All right? Nobody gave me real good advice. I had to go look it up. I am absolutely legally obligated to file against this person for harassment and disturbance and actually bullying at this point, because now there's insults and tossing my things around. This is ridiculous. I didn't want to do this to my mother. I might have to go to court Monday and file a harassment issue report. If she pulls everything out of this room tomorrow, as you can see, that's what it's related to. There is a person trying to ruin my life, trying to be in the way, trying to be a disturbance on purpose. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm sitting here, I'm about to go, I got my head on the pillow, I'm laying down, and then boom, got somebody walking in at 12:30 in the fucking morning. This is insane. And then she's like, oh, you've been just sitting there squatting. Bro, I would have been out of here if you left me alone. I would have been out of here if people left me alone so I can work. The entire time that I've been here, it has been somebody barging into the room whenever the hell they want, without the barrier there and with the barrier there, making a huge noise disturbance. For 6 months to 8 months straight, there was a dryer running 12 to 14 hours a day. A lot of the time at night, I was forced to sleep through it. I couldn't. So I was up for days. I am sick of the harassment. I'm totally sick of this. This is insane. This is not a good stream to be on, to be listening to. This is me documenting a situation. I'm trying to go to sleep at 12:30 at night so I can go to work tomorrow, as I have for the last 7 days straight and even longer. And I get walked in. Somebody's walking into the room without knocking, without saying, hey, are you sleeping? Is it a good time to be in here? None of that. Turns the light on, switches the clothes over, does all the things at 12:30 at night. This is not an emergency. This isn't a situation where you need to be in the room. This is not a situation where, oh no, it's an emergency. That was completely illegal. And she's been doing this all the time. And it's not just her. It's her boyfriend too. I don't want to have to do this. I have to file a harassment report just to have sanctity in this fucking room. This is insane. And I have enough proof. I have enough evidence. I have years of evidence. And I told her this, and she still continues to insult. She still continued to disturb me. And I have it all on recording right here. Earlier, I asked her, hey, would you like me to move the clothes for you? Because she was like, oh no, the tongs aren't there. And I felt like it was a nice gesture. Then she proceeds with insults. This is a regular problem. I got that on camera too. This is an issue. This is a repeated fucking issue. You know, fucking TV in the other room, I can hear it while I'm trying to fucking sleep. Already. It's been a straight week of a TV that I can hear while I'm trying to sleep. I gotta jam earplugs as far as they go into my ear just to sleep. Likely what helped my tooth get infected. I'm probably getting ear buildup and it's going into my fucking tooth. This is insane, dude. I can't go to sleep at 12:30 at night because somebody wants to do their laundry at 12:30 at night instead of 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, right. 12 o'clock in the afternoon was a bad time when I was sleeping during the day and working at night. Now it's a bad time to do it during the day. Let's do it at night because I'm sleeping at night. This is harassment. This is stalking. This is on purpose. And I'm fucking done with it. And I have to file. This is insane. To have somebody at least just knock on the door before coming in, let alone asking, hey, are you sleeping right now so you can go to work? Imagine somebody telling you, you're lazy, you ain't doing enough for yourself. As I'm out there fucking riding my bike, I went on three separate dashes today, all right? Hours of work, all right? Now, I'm trying to go to sleep and somebody gets in my way. That same person that's calling me fucking lazy and useless is getting in my way, telling me that I'm lazy and useless. No, fuck this gaslighting. I'm fucking done with this harassment. I'm done with the harassment. You know, if there's some of my family on here that have, you know, hated me so much because of what people say behind my back, you got somebody telling everybody that I'm lazy, that I ain't doing enough for myself, that, you know, oh, he's smart enough, he should be able to do a lot of things, but I got hit by a fucking car and she's waking my ass up at 12:30 at fucking night. This is insane. The same person that's saying that I am lazy, I'm useless, is waking me up at 12:30 at night, not for an emergency, but to do laundry. Now I gotta wait for the fucking dryer to stop. I gotta wait an entire hour now for the dryer to be done before I can go to sleep. I'm not allowed to have a normal life. I am not allowed to schedule. What are you doing? I'm going into the room. If you sit there and eavesdrop, that's also illegal. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. See what I mean? She's chasing me around. She's stalking me. I am filing. I'm fucking done with this shit. I'm fucking done with this shit, dude. I can't even sleep at 12:30 at night. I don't care how busy somebody else's life is. I don't care if they own a home. They're not allowed to harass you like this. How am I supposed to call the police on them? What are they going to do? They're going to do the same thing that they did when I told them about this issue to begin with. She fucking lied to the cops. She said to the cops that basically, oh, you know, we'll set something up and make sure that that she schedules before she comes into the laundry room for a non-emergency. Okay? An emergency would be, I need to get to the panel, the panel that's in here. Okay? An emergency is not, hey, I need to switch over the laundry at 12:30 at night. And then call me lazy, call me dirty, say all these things. I can't get anything done because I can't get enough sleep. It's sleep deprivation. She has fucked me. I have got sleep deprivation because of her, and I'm done with it. Earlier, she was tossing shit. She was pushing on the barrier, trying to knock my shit over. I'm done, dude. I'm done. I'm done with the fucking harassment. I'm done with the violence. All I've said was, please leave me alone. Or I said, hey, would you like me to help you? Instead, actually, that's where it started. Would you like me to help you? Not in that way. I didn't say it in that tone, like, you know, demeaning the person. I said, would you like me to help you move the clothes over? Because she couldn't find the tongs to get the clothes out. She didn't want to reach into the thing. I shouldn't be doing that either because of my fucking back. But I said, hey, want me to help? She starts insulting me, calling me dirty, calling me lazy, saying to get the hell out. What the fuck, dude? I asked somebody if I could help them. It's insane. I'm fucking done with this shit. Call police on them. What are they gonna do? The police don't do fucking shit. I fucking called the police on her boyfriend who fucking came at me with a golf club. They didn't do shit. They didn't do shit. There was a fucking camera right here. You see that fucking camera? There was a fucking camera, and I told them it was on camera. And they didn't do shit about it. There was a violent incident right fucking here. Right here. You can't even fucking see it because it's too dark. Right fucking there in front of this fucking camera, I had a dude swinging a golf club at me. No, dude, they don't do shit to help. Dude, I was fucking trying to sleep at 12:30, okay? I got done with my work, trying to go to sleep at 12:30. And once again, somebody walks in, goes and switches the clothes out. Now there's a dryer running, and I can't fucking sleep. Calling me lazy, telling me I'm not good enough. I'm just, not doing enough for my life. But she's in here disrupting me. This is insane. The police don't fucking do shit. They always side with the woman. It doesn't matter what state you're in. It's Florida. It's wherever. Like, I don't even want to be in the room. I want to fucking sleep outside. It's insane. She has her episodes. She needs to stop having episodes or get some fucking help. It's every single fucking day. It's just another outburst from, she's going to say, oh, you're not getting enough done. You're not doing enough for yourself. Why the fuck are you waking me up at 12:30 at night? I'm fucking done with it. I have too many instances of this to let this keep going on. This has been years and years. I literally have a video of her fucking pointing a knife at me. She threatened me with a knife before. She's insane. Oh, you hear yelling on the other side of the house. They're having an argument. Why don't you step in? Why the fuck do you think? Maybe it's her fault. Maybe she's the one who fucking instigated it. She's telling the police I instigated something. As she walks into the fucking room, she instigated it. Fucking so sick of this shit, dude. I'm trying to fucking lay down, ready to go to sleep, and then she comes in here and starts making a big disturbance. And when she walked out, she left the door open. She left both the fucking doors open. If I hadn't closed them, then I would be dealing with a noise disturbance. This is every other fucking day to every day I'm dealing with somebody disturbing me and giving me sleep deprivation. I have sleep deprivation. Why can't I wake up at a regular fucking time? Well, because I got sleep deprivation, I'm being kept up by somebody who's harassing me. That needs to fucking stop. I was on the stream earlier. I showed you guys, look, I'm out dashing. I got that dash done. I came back and I'm ready to go to fucking sleep finally after being up all day doing dashes and, sitting staring at charts, doing live streams. I did a Spencer Pratt video earlier. I did a lot of shit today. And she's going to come in here at fucking 12:30 at night like a useless fucking woman and just be like, oh, well, guess what? You're not important. Your sleep isn't important. I'm going to disturb your sleep. And then I'm going to talk about how you aren't working at 6 or 5 o'clock in the morning when usually that's when I'm fucking up. I would be up that early if I wasn't being disturbed at 11, 12, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. This is the same shit that I was dealing with in a crack house. I didn't smoke the crack. Everybody else was smoking crack, and they were staying up till 4 o'clock in the fucking morning. And I got to deal with their fucking music. Instead, now I'm dealing with a TV, and if it's not the fucking TV, literally 2 rooms away, I can hear the fucking TV blasting in my room, okay? They don't even think to maybe close the second door so I don't have to hear it. No consideration at all. Every time that somebody comes in this room, there is not a single knock. It's a, whoop, surprise. That's harassment. And that is also stalking when they come in here and they insult me. He hasn't insulted me like that. That's where he did right. He comes in here, he gets his shit done, and it's good. Her boyfriend is less of a problem than her. I'm fucking done with this shit, dude. I'm sick of getting harassed by somebody that I'm supposed to care about. I'm supposed to fucking care about her, but she keeps being fucking violent. It is. It is harassment. It is stalking. It doesn't matter who pays the fucking bills. If you are living in a room, you have every fucking right to have privacy in that room. It doesn't matter. If you are a resident of that fucking house, whether or not you are actually able to pay the rent, Doesn't matter. And guess what? I would be able to pay the fucking rent if she didn't harass me for the last 3 or 4 fucking years since I've been here. The first moments that I was here, I was in a car, sleeping during the day, working 14 hours at night. 9 to 14 hours. That was my shift. I'd be getting back around 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd be leaving 12 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay? That's when I would be leaving. Midday. I stop my shift at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So 12 hours and then sometimes 14 hours later if I feel like it. All right. So that's what I was doing. And I get here and I go to sleep in the daytime to then get ready for the next day. And she's over at my fucking car banging the window. Why are you sleeping right now? That's harassment. That's fucking harassment. It doesn't matter who's paying the fucking bills. If you're staying in a room, somebody barges into that fucking room, you expected privacy. Somebody barges into the fucking bathroom, you're in the bathroom. You expected privacy. It is harassment and it is stalking if somebody comes in there and starts insulting you while you're in there. That is stalking. I looked it up. Go look up the fucking laws. Because I'm dealing with this harassment, I went and I looked up the laws from my perspective and from her perspective. Don't fall for the rage bait. Dude, it's not rage bait. I said, hey, I'm trying to sleep. And then she starts fucking insulting me and shit. And I'm like, okay, great. Now we have this. She's not yelling because there's a camera on. Earlier, she was fucking insulting me and she didn't know there was a camera on. But I was in the room. And she stopped insulting me the moment that I said that there was a fucking camera on. I have to have a camera on to protect myself. That's why I do these streams. That's why I document. Because she doesn't leave me alone if I don't. I can't do content. I can't even fucking sleep right now. There's a dryer going. At 12:30, 12:45 in the fucking morning, there's a dryer going on next to my head. Not an emergency. You are allowed to go into a shared room like that where there's a laundry room attached if, in fact, it is an emergency. That is when you're allowed to barge into a room even if they're paying the bills or not paying bills, you're allowed to walk into that room because guess what? It's an emergency. This is not an emergency. This is to get laundry done. If it was an emergency, I would understand. I would also understand if she didn't insult me while she was in there. You know, I wouldn't have anything to fucking say if she just came in, did her thing, and there was no insults. But it's always an insult on top of everything. You know, I have to go to the fucking court on Monday. I need to fucking file harassment and make sure that I have sanctity in this fucking room because I can't sleep and lead a regular life. I can't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning like I like to if, in fact, somebody's waking me up at 12:30 at night. You know, I fucking sleep. I changed my schedule to daytime because I can't use a bike in the drive-thru. Right? Makes sense. So I'm now doing it in the daytime and she's keeping me up at night. I was working at night and she's keeping me up during the day. It doesn't matter what the situation is. That is stalking. That is, okay, I know when I can disturb them the most. So I'm going to do it now instead of later. That is the definition of stalking. I document this shit because this is what I've been dealing with ever since I fucking got here. Since I got to my aunt's house, I've been dealing with this. You know, barging into the room, opening up the fucking door. She's like, oh, you don't live here? I'm gonna barge in the door. What the fuck, dude? I'm sitting there jerking off or something. I got a woman walking in. She's like, oh, go next door, go to the party and stuff. Dude, I am not in the right spot right now to go hang out with people and do a party and be all happy and stuff. Okay, I need to get the fuck out of here. You know, somebody help me. Save my soul. Go to my fucking PayPal, something. Go to my GoFundMe or something. Help me. I need to get the fuck out of here. And then I'll explain the rest of it. And then I won't be a problem for anybody that thinks that I'm a problem, and they will not be a problem for me. I never wanted to live in this fucking house. She forced me. She's like, oh, well, you can't sleep in the parking lot anymore. I'm like, what? Dude, I'm in my fucking vehicle. She acted like it was a thing, like she cared so much. If she cared so much about my well-being, she wouldn't be waking me up at 12:30 at night. I was sitting there relaxing, about to go to fucking sleep. She comes in and starts a fucking problem. This is insane, dude. You know, I already got insomnia. I already got the problem. I got fucking sleep apnea. And at this point, I got insomnia. Because I don't know who the fuck's going to walk in and cause a fucking problem. And this is years of it and years of documenting it. And that's why I'm documenting it now. Another documentation of the situation. You heard her come out of the fucking door too. She is knowledgeable about the situation because she was a part of it. She's eavesdropped. She's knocked over my fucking things. She's gone on my YouTube and been like, oh, I'm listening to you right now. Oh, yeah. Okay, I hear what you say. Like stalking me. And I'm like, all right, well, you know what? You've already heard enough. I want you to stop listening to my channel. I got that on video. And then go somewhere else if you're unhappy. I have a fucking bike and all my shit. I ain't going anywhere. And you're getting off of my channel forever. Whoever the fuck you are, goodbye. These people are not on my side. You can get the fuck off my channel forever. Goodbye, Dustin. I had to put a sheet up because I couldn't even whack. No, it was the thing that basically she put it up. She's like, oh, well, I'm going to give you your privacy. Here's the screen. And it barely covered the rest of the room. So I had to put the sheets up and everything else. The sheets around the fucking windows, people peeking in through the door. She peeked in through the fucking door one day. I caught her. Everything wrong with the situation has been done. Everything that could have been wrong about the situation has been done at this point. And I have it on recording. I didn't record before so much. I only recorded when, okay, she's got a fucking knife. Oh, shit. I had to record. That was when I was recording in the beginning. I've been recording for the last year or so, maybe a year and a half during these situations. So I have about a year and a half of evidence, gigabytes and gigabytes. Destroy my phone, there's evidence on another phone. She needs to leave me the fuck alone. That's all I ever asked. I want to work, go to work, save up enough fucking money, get in a fucking car, and literally live in my fucking car and get out of here. That's what I wanted. She wouldn't even let me sleep. Then I get hit by a fucking car. She's like, oh, you got to find another job. Instead of actually maybe trying to guide me into getting disability for my fucking MRIs showing that my back needs a rod, my knee needs a rod. I can't stand for more than an hour and a half straight without collapsing because of the pain. The reason why I can do this shit on a bike is because I'm sitting down on a seat. But if she gave a fuck about my well-being, then when I got hit by a vehicle, she would have been trying to walk me through how does disability work? She didn't. You know, if you're a fucking troll on my channel, I'm getting the fuck rid of you. I don't need you. I don't need your support. You're not support. You're just annoying. You're probably coming to my video and like reporting it and stuff, trying to get me shadow banned. Hey, get out of here. I don't even want to hear from you. Yeah, E-Town has seen this fucking saga, and this saga continues. I had maybe 1 month and a half of actual peace and quiet, all right? And I was about to say, damn, I think she really understood and she really cares. And then she starts fucking having these episodes again, all right? And now it's been weeks of once in a while, there's an episode. I'm fucking sick of it. I'm so fucking sick of it. I can't get anything done. Why do you still smoke cigarettes? Maybe because I'm fucking stressed out. Maybe because I'm being woke up at 12:30 at night. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. And she jumps back and forth, right? She'll have arguments with him and she'll act like, oh, he's the enemy. And she'll come and talk to me and like behind his fucking back and stuff, talk to me. Oh, he's the enemy. And then I find out that she's doing the same fucking thing with him. I'm the enemy. That's a psychopath. That's a fucking sociopath. Anything, if you're a part of the family and you heard her say some shit about me, it was more than likely untrue. At this point, even if it was fucking good at this point, likely untrue. Because she doesn't know shit about me. If she knew anything about me, she wouldn't be coming in here at fucking 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in midnight where I'm trying to fucking sleep. I got sleep apnea and insomnia on top of it now because of these disturbances. If she knew anything about me, she would maybe schedule to be in here and find out what is my actual schedule. What is my actual work schedule? You know, if I file for a harassment situation, it is to make sure that I am safe in this room where there is scheduled fucking entrances, unless there is an emergency. This is insane. Nobody else has to deal with this shit. Nobody in the family has to deal with this shit. Everybody in the family is stomped all over me and I'm fucking sick of it. So sick of it. And she's gonna act like I'm some violent person, but I have never broken any of her shit. I have never thrown her shit around. I have never threatened her in any way physically whatsoever. You know, I haven't even harassed her. I haven't even tried to insult her. Now, earlier was a perfect example of I did not engage whatsoever in any negative way. In fact, I was engaging in a positive way. Would you like me to help you with the clothes? And then she turns around like, call me dirty and, oh, fuck you. It's like insane. And you know what's crazy is I have to hear what's going on in the rest of the house because there's all this yelling and stuff. All right? The same shit's happening to him. He's sleeping. He's driving her around. He's fucking sleeping and she's waking his ass up on a fucking day that he has off. She's just trying to be a disturbance, and this is a woman problem. Fuck this woman power shit. Fuck this woman freedom shit. I'm fucking done with it, dude. It seems like women are the problem. They're unruly. They're emotional. They should not be in charge of anything. They shouldn't be doing a job. They shouldn't be holding money. They don't even do money responsibly. They spend on stupid shit. Like, look at this. Why? I need $150 fucking dollars to fix my bike, and she's gonna go buy this for me to go to a party. Yay, cool, shoes, amazing. That's amazing. But instead of buying these fucking clothes, maybe I could have got my other fucking bike fixed and I'd be making enough money to get a fucking car by now. You know, completely fiscally irresponsible. Telling me about fucking money and hard work. The reason why I wear dirty fucking clothes is because I can't afford anything else. Like look at this. Why would you waste money on this? Why? I mean, it's nice. It's a kind thing. It's a kind gesture. I understand. But you can't tell me about how irresponsible I am and you are being irresponsible. Fucking leg, my fucking back, dude. I can't sleep right now because there's a dryer going. Now that last cop, she called the cops on me because I was doing work on her yard. While I was sitting here waiting for my battery to charge, I'm out here doing work, and she fucking called the cops on me because I was doing work instead of working. I was doing work instead of working. Make it make sense. And then she lies to the cop and says, oh, well, yeah, we'll schedule something. We'll make sure that we're not walking in and disturbing his peace and everything. She fucking lied. There's not been a single text, a single knock on the door. What is she telling the truth about? I have it on video. I have the fucking incident on video. There is proof. Indisputable evidence. Tell me I'm a fucking liar. It's on video. Bring me to fucking court. I have videos of this shit. I'm only doing it for self-preservation. So that one day, if she tries to fuck me over, when I finally get out of the situation, I have something to protect myself. I have documented evidence, documented information. That's why I'm doing these streams, to document the situation. I have done nothing to deserve this. I have done nothing to deserve the harassment. I had tried to help her today. That's all I ever did. And then she's coming in here insulting me when I asked her yet again, would she like help? You can't tell me I'm fucking wrong when I try to help somebody and then they insult me. You know, no wonder the same kind of shit that I'm saying, he's saying too. Why is he saying it? Because she's doing the same fucking shit to him. If you're a woman, you really need to fucking like figure it out. You got to stop fucking with people. The reason why this country is destroyed is because of fucking you at this point. Buying cheap Chinese fucking shit. No, it's not even cheap anymore. You pay fucking $5,000 for a piece of plastic. Fiscally irresponsible. I'm just so sick of it, dude. I need privacy in this fucking room. That means no disturbances. I'm trying to sleep at fucking 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning. This is common sense shit. This isn't a person that's trying to be nice, trying to be helpful. This is a person that's trying to make it more difficult for me to live my life. And this has been an ongoing situation, and I have it documented. That's why I documented it. Because after the first 2 fucking years of dealing with this shit, my life fell into the fucking tubes because I'm getting harassed. I'm like, I'm done. I'm going to start recording this shit. So I did. I've never had this much of an issue with somebody before. And it's my own fucking mother. This is insane. You would think the mother would know about her son. She doesn't know shit about me. She doesn't know the good things. She doesn't know the bad things. If she's talking about me behind my back, she is lying. She doesn't know anything about me. She called me a plumber. No, I did plumbing and heating in school. I was never a fucking plumber. I've never done actual plumbing work in a house. But I can put pipes together quite fine. I can also read and draw a blueprint. Do I understand the water tank, like the water heater and stuff? No, I don't, because we didn't actually get to that point in class. But she has no idea. She thinks that I'm a fucking plumber. No, I'm not. She lies about the bad things and she lies about the good things. This has gotten out of control. I need to fucking sleep at 12 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night. Instead of sleeping at 11, I went ahead and I continued to dash. I went back out to work. I came back at 12. Rest my head. Finally, I'm relaxing at 12:30. And then, whoop, guess what? We're doing laundry. It's every other fucking day. I looked it up today. I asked AI. I'm like, if somebody insults you, comes into the room, consistently insults you, and there was no permission to go into that room. In general, just the insulting part is enough to be considered harassment, especially if it's consistent, especially if it keeps happening. There's no evidence of me harassing someone. There's no evidence of me being violent. Oh, I speak loud. Oh, speak loud. That's about as far as it goes. People have been violent towards me, not the other way around. Right now, she is talking to me and consistently harassing me. She's talking into the door and telling me, gotta go night-night. Talking to me like a baby. This is what I mean. Insults, harassment. That is another piece of fucking evidence. Leave me alone. The cops don't do shit. You have to go to the court system. I told the fucking cops, I had to call the cops on this dude. He was swinging a golf club at me. Caught on video, caught on fucking security camera. The cops didn't even bat an eyelash. They said, well, nothing we could do. What do you mean nothing you could do? There's fucking evidence right fucking there. You're gonna investigate it? No. Doesn't matter if it's a dude getting hurt. I remember everything. The fact that I'm documenting it just backs it up more. That is a form of bullying. It doesn't bother me very much. That doesn't really bother me. You're talking to me like a child. I'm not a child. So it doesn't bother me. But the fact that she's trying shows intent. You are now doing it again.
Tell your little friend.
You are doing it again. This is harassment. This is a continued stalking campaign. Stop it. Leave me alone.
Make sure you go.
Please leave me alone. Okay? Leave me alone. You see how it's an insult? And it is not I care about him. It is an insult. And now she's going to go run to him after she told him to get the fuck out, told him he couldn't even take showers anymore. Now she's going to be best friends with him. She jumps back and forth like a fucking monkey does. See what I mean? I can't go to sleep until that dryer's done. Do I need to have evidence of the fucking dryer running? Here we go. Yeah. See? There's a dryer running right now. You can't hear it too well on the microphone unless you get close. But I can hear it quite well in here with my regular, just my ears. All right. This is a campaign to harass and harm me. I'm done with it. You know, I don't wake people up even if there's like something I really need bad. I don't bother people. Okay. Why? Because I don't want to disturb them. I go out of my way and I suffer in order to not disturb people. And yet I'm being disturbed. You are taking for granted somebody who is trying to be proper and trying to be polite with you. Women don't understand that kind of thing. Like she's like, time to go night-night, and saying like a baby, says, oh, make sure you go, use the bathroom before you go to sleep. That's fucked, dude. That's just straight up insult. And the way she's doing it is like a fucking high school or a child.
Sweetie, do you want to invite your friends over for pizza?
I'm not going to engage, see? See, I'm not engaging. I didn't speak to her at all. Let's see what happens. I gotta wait till that dryer's done, and then I can go to sleep. This is why I do all-night streams. This is why I do what I do. I have to keep an audio recorder on. There's a fucking like an hour straight audio recorder. Look. Okay. This whole incident was audio recorded. I'm not fucking around anymore. I'm not getting abused anymore. I'm fucking done. You're not going to keep abusing me. And if you keep harassing me the way you are, and you keep walking in here, right now it's not bothering me, but if you do end up bothering me, I will want more than just, hey, please give me notice before you come in the room. I'm going to want a lot more than that. You need to leave me alone. If you're watching right now and stalking me, like I told you not to watch my channel, and anybody that's affiliated with you or connected with you shall not be watching my channel, and get off. Already warned you. If you are on my channel right now, or if anybody else that is associated with you is on my channel right now, it is after I told you I don't want that to happen. So you need to leave. Quit the stalking. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done getting abused. You know, if there's a man or something that I can just simply, you know, face off against, and then we can solve it that way, that'd be a lot easier than what I have to fucking do in this situation. Because it's a woman. I mean, if she really thinks those insults affect me, it's because, like, that's how emotional, apparently, that gender is. Because they truly feel that emotional about themselves that they feel like that's effective on somebody else. I'm not in high school anymore. And that means I gotta work. That means I gotta sleep so I can go to work in the morning. I'm gonna have a late morning because of this. This has affected me for years. My wages have been affected by this for years. The person that's saying, oh, you're not paying rent here. No shit, I can't pay rent. You keep waking me up when I'm trying to fucking go to work. It's your fault. Trying to wake me up when I need to sleep before I go to work. You can't be the reason for the problem and then point out the problem. That's a fucking liberal bullshit thing. That's a liberal fucking scumbag thing to do. Literally the thing, you know, you can't say that you're conservative and you're a Trump supporter and acting like that. And you sure as hell can't say that you're a God follower either. You know, when I said I'm sleeping, there was no, oh shit, I'm sorry. None of that. No sympathy whatsoever. And you see that in the recording. No sympathy whatsoever. Instead, it was an insult. If she is talking to you, saying otherwise, it's a lie, and it's been caught on camera. There's evidence, and I am allowed to have the evidence because this is the room where I reside. You can all go away if you just stop fucking harassing me. Leave me alone. Be decent to people. What did I say before? Why? Because people are not treating me decently, and I see what it's doing to me. Be decent to other people. If you're not being decent to other people, you're fucking them over, and it's going to have long-term consequences. You're going to wonder, why is the world broken? Because of you. If you are a problem to somebody, if you are getting in their way, trying to bother them, you are a problem, and the reason why your existence sucks is because you made it suck at that point. I did nothing to harass people. I tiptoe through the fucking house at night. I tiptoe. Accidentally, oops, I knocked something over. I don't never mean that. I always try to be as quiet as possible, especially when people are sleeping. It's fucking 1 o'clock in the morning, and she 1:20 in the morning, and after she woke me up, well, took me out of my relaxed state, at 12:30 at night after I just got out of work, trying to go to work again in the morning. Now came in almost an hour later just to harass me. This is not just a pattern, this is stalking. This is a level above just basic harassment. And whoever's watching me and hating me, you're not going to fucking stop. What is going to happen? And if she retaliates over it, then that's also a problem. So as I'm talking about this and as I gave her the warning, she continued to retaliate. That is another problem on top of the rest of the problems. That is another level of harassment. You know, this is years of damages, years of not being able to make enough fucking money because my sleep schedule is getting fucked over. You want to talk about damage? You want to talk about rent? Dude, I can't pay fucking rent. I can't even afford shit for myself because you keep disturbing me. You cause the problem, then call it out. That's gaslighting. That's like a level worse than gaslighting. You know, she was just talking to me earlier about, hey, I really want you to fix that Jeep, you know, get it running and stuff. And I'm like, yo, if I could drive that Jeep around, I'll figure out what the fuck's wrong with it. I'll be able to fix it. You know, people are just driving around, running it into the ground, not looking, not figuring out what's wrong with it, not even bringing it to like an advanced auto or something to get it checked, to get the actual code checked. Nobody's doing anything like that. You know, if that thing gets fixed, it's because I fixed it. I went through this entire property, cleaned up all the leaves, prevented a fire hazard because I did it. I'm trying to solve problems. I'm not trying to cause problems. I'm not gaslighting. I'm not lying. This is caught on camera. There is clear evidence. You know, she called the cops on me because I was doing work on the yard instead of working while I was waiting for my battery to charge. Apparently, she wants the work not to be done. You hear that? Yeah. That's why I can't go to sleep yet until that dryer's done. Okay? Oh, I'm going to prevent you from doing the work, and then I'm going to complain about how dirty the yard is. What? I broke through that. I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to go ahead and clean anyways, because I'm done, you know, I'm done with this whole don't do it, do it. Don't do it, do it. If this is a woman problem, women should not be in charge of anything because this is ridiculous. If this is why the system's broken, if this is why there's fraud everywhere, billions and billions of dollars in cities of fraud, handing freebies to everybody who broke into the fucking country. If that's because a woman is in charge, this has to stop. You know, you put a man in there, Trump, his whole fucking goal is to stop the fraud. His whole fucking goal is to end the invasion. You see, Kamala, she wanted to be president. She wanted to give them amnesty, allow them to be here and live here as citizens. Open your eyes, people. Stop having a soft spot just because you want to get laid. I don't want to have to file a fucking harassment report just to be able to sleep. I don't want to have to fucking do that. But this is years and years of sleep deprivation while being told that I'm fucking lazy, that I'm all these insults and stuff. Years and years of disruptions. Years of sleep deprivation. I'm fucking done with it. It's in texts as well. I've recorded it even before I started actually taking videos, taking audio. I had reported it. I had been in text, in chats, talking to friends about this a long time. So this was before the YouTube, years before. This goes back I probably have about 5 years worth of information that backs this claim. Leave me alone. That's all I asked. I don't go in there and yell at her. I'm in this room, raising my voice. I go out front, nobody can hear me inside unless they're sitting in the kitchen, unless they're trying to listen for it. Why do you think I'm desperate and plagued with crypto? Because I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to blast off like a fucking rocket ship. I need to get the fuck away from these people and never look back. I need to go to basically Mars. Like, when I get out of here, I need to be in a position where I have to look forward, and that's it. I remember the day that I tried quitting fucking cigarettes, and I was at my aunt's house, and I was sleeping on the couch because, wasn't allowed to sleep on the bed, sleeping on the fucking couch in a mansion-sized house. And, no walls between me and another person walking in or whatever, and then literally same kind of situation. Not even shitting you. Fucking coffee table got blown up with a fucking weapon. Somebody was swinging a weapon at me, threatening me as I was a little bit on edge. So I said, leave me the fuck alone. Just like that. Then I got somebody saying, don't talk to your mother like that. I'm trying to fucking sleep. I'm trying to quit cigarettes here. I'm trying to, I'd gone 24 fucking hours without a cigarette. Leave me alone. It seems to be a woman's goal to be bothersome. I'm glad I didn't get married. I'm fucking glad, man. I'm glad I didn't have kids. I'm glad that I am not a fucking slave to that shit. Once I'm out of the situation, I shouldn't have to deal with a woman. I'm not going to have to deal with a woman. Definitely not turning gay, but I'm definitely going to be talking to dudes from now on. Oh, I love you too. Thank you. It's no hate against women. It's just like, what the fuck, dude? I'm trying to be, hear that? It's going to go me maybe one more time after this, all right? And I would not have been able to sleep. It would have woke me up. So at 1:30 a.m., there's still a dryer running next to my head. Why do you have to bring up a question like that? All right, listen. Me, when it comes to physical contact with a chick, it's as freaky as it gets. I'll do whatever. All right. When it's like online, it's like less about that. It's more like mental. It's like in person, I'm way different than how I interact with a chick online. All right. Now that dryer's fucking going, it's done. I just told you, I'm not very freaky online. I'm quite freaky in real. And the rating would be probably about an 8. I'll do pretty much anything. I've done pretty much everything. Actually, yeah, I could say that I pretty much have done everything. Like, eyeballs were involved. So, one of these chicks had a fetish for licking eyeballs. I was like, what? So, I mean, you want to talk about freaky. And then she did that, and I was like, that was strange, but I trust you now. I don't know why. So, let me think. Yeah, like no, not a psycho. Like, I'm not a psycho. Like, he's talking about something else, y'all. I can't say it specifically. But online, where do you find those chicks, dude? You have to like, okay, so they don't have to be drunk. You have to. I. I'm better at explaining in real life. I'm better with my hands. Actually, I should probably just put this somewhere and explain it. Teach my audience how to find the freaky chicks. I find the craziest chicks ever. I mean, I got kicked in the fucking jaw by one of my exes. It was insane. She took my iPod out of my hands. I had an iPod at the time, all right? And I'm trying to reach for it. I'm like, oh, trying to reach for it, and she fucking kicks me right in the jaw, dude. Like, almost broke it, dude. Like, I've been abused. We have completed the transvestigation. See, that right there could like date back to something that I had talked about in the past, and that was about like different types of psychology based on gender, and how a woman, they have a very delicate, like spider webbish brain, and they just like they have a compartment for this, a compartment for that, a compartment for that. But if the web between it gets broken, then they freak out. So if they don't get to be control freaks, then they freak the fuck out. So you just can't give them control to begin with. Then they take it 15 miles in the wrong direction. I've never been physically violent towards a chick, and I tend to not be outwardly physically violent towards dudes unless they are a threat. That's why people think that I'm just a pushover, and then they want until they actually put their hands on me. Somebody comes up behind me, like my little brother, and fucking slams me down. That's a different story. You came up behind me, dude. You fucking scum. You come up behind somebody and you slam them down. That's not cool. That's not fucking cool. No matter which way you look at it, that's not brave. Maybe because I have a good looks, the way to get the chicks, that kind of has something to do with it, but it also requires a bit of that personality. You got to show that you're beast. But the thing is, these chicks, they always hang out with other chicks. You can't show the chick that you're a beast in front of her friend, because her friend will call that as some kind of something that she has to worry about. And then when she realizes that that's not something to worry about, then she's not controlled by her friends anymore. So you got to do it respectfully, but you got to act like, you are a beast, like what you actually want. Don't act on it like physically, but explain it, say things, come up with phrases that'll bring it towards that direction, a little poke or something, stuff like that. It works. But you have to make like that. There's people that make sexual innuendos, and it's so cringe because they don't do it right. What people do, what they tend to do if they are freaky, they go too freaky about it. You can't be too freaky about it. If you're going to go too freaky at a chick, she's going to think that you're that threat, that you're that thing that her friend told her to worry about. So that's the problem in today's society. You got a lot of fucking like big chicks that are like telling their skinny friends, don't waste your time with him. He's going to hurt you. And you got old, boomer ladies and stuff telling the younger generation, careful, careful. Oh, this is the thing that happened to me. Oh my God, careful, careful, careful. Oh yeah, he's mean, right? Yeah, you got to hate him sometimes. Stuff like that. You got that from the older generation teaching young chicks how to be nasty. So that's why you find some of these really mean chicks, and they make it their goal just to hate, because their friend circle has taught them to fully hate. And I ain't what? So I should be able to sleep now, but I have a feeling it's going to be like maybe 10 minutes after I go to rest my head. It's going to be another problem. See, I have insomnia. I can't even sleep. This is sleep deprivation. and it is caused by someone, and she doesn't even want to like care about it. She doesn't want to say sorry. I've never received an apology at all. She tried to tell me I love you the other day. No, you don't. I said I love you too back, but I don't believe that she actually cares. Well, the big chicks, that's the thing, is that they want you. The big chicks want the dude. They don't want the skinny chick to be with the dude. They think that by making the good-looking dude, the skinny dude, desperate, that he's gonna go for the big chick. That's not how it works. It's the opposite. It's the opposite. I've been with one big chick. She wasn't that big, but she was, she was plus size, and I was like, why not? And that's because I was already on a run doing other chicks, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. That's why. So if you're a chick watching this right now and you're a fucking, you got some extra poundage, bro, stop trying to make the dudes desperate. They ain't gonna fuck you at that point. I would say that I'm pretty alpha when it comes to chicks. Like, I'm in charge. But the thing is I fell off. Like, I was on my own, dude. I was living in a vehicle and I was staying at hotels. I was making that much, good money. But I could not find a shower. The showers were not available, so my skin broke out, and my, work schedule just, I couldn't even, I was sitting in my car all the time. So I was out in the summer heat, sitting in my car, not getting a shower after I'd already been bit by a spider before. It shocked my immune system already. And I just couldn't handle it anymore. I needed a shower. On top of that, I was like getting scared about sleeping in parking lots. Somebody was telling me about Baker Act and all this stuff. I'm like, so you can get thrown into a mental institute because you stay in your car because you don't have a home. So you automatically, if you're homeless, then you're not mentally fit. What? That doesn't make any sense to me. I felt like I was completely fit considering I was working 14, 16 hours sometimes. My longest dash was 32 and a half hours. I'm talking about what I began this video with. I don't want to have to do it. I'm being harassed. I went to go rest my head and go to sleep, and that was around 12. I got back, and I was relaxing, and then someone comes in here, begins to do the laundry, finish the laundry, didn't ask me if I was, sleeping, turns the dryer on. The dryer just shut off. The same person, it's 11:40 in the morning. It's 1:40 in the morning. The dryer just shut off. Okay. Now I can actually maybe go to sleep. But I've already been riled up. This is a problem. I shouldn't be expected to be able to sleep after this. I asked her if she wanted help earlier. That was the first time she came in. That was like at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, or 7 or 8. And I asked her if she wanted help, and she started being negative. And she started insulting me. I'm like, what the hell? I asked if you wanted help. It's stupid. That's where it started. Everything was positive before that. And then she comes in later at 12:30 in the fucking morning and starts doing the laundry again. Like, what the fuck, dude? I was resting my head trying to sleep. I can't pick a sleep schedule for myself. I am being sleep deprived. This is harassment. And the fact that she keeps coming in here and insulting me after the fact, sitting there listening to me, freaking coming to the edge of the door, yelling stuff into the door, that is harassment, and that is stalking. Oh, right. So that camera it's not running. It's not operating. Instead, they have a camera in a different spot. So the place is locked down. I'm glad that it's locked down. The camera isn't sitting where it's going to be, positioned to listen to me all the time. That's great. So that has changed. I'm happy about that. I want to give credit to people. I want to be like, hell yeah, this is good. That's all I want. I want to be like, hell yeah, this is good. Look at us. We're being great. This is amazing. Let's make this place great again. Like that's where my mentality is. Every fucking time I try to be helpful, every fucking time that I just exist, I'm being insulted by the same person that fucked me to begin with. I was trying to sleep in my vehicle in a parking lot safely. Instead, I got harassed more by sleeping in this parking lot than I ever was out in the wild. It's emotional abuse. And I have it documented at this point, and I don't want to have to fucking do this. But in order to actually sleep, I need to have sanctity in this room. I can't pick when I go to sleep. If I go to sleep at 10, if I go to sleep at 9 p.m., I could probably expect somebody walking in and causing a disturbance. I got limited amount of time in the day that I can get jobs done. I have to go out at 6 o'clock in the morning in order to make it a full day. There's a possibility of that. Yeah. So he said, I think she is watching your YouTube again. She has your family watching. But that's the thing, is she can't admit that now because I've already said do not, and this has been recorded on my YouTube channel. It was witnessed on YouTube live. I don't want you watching my channel. I feel unsafe when you do. Instead, during that literal moment when I told her that, this is also caught on camera, she says, "Oh, you don't think I can hear you through the door?" That's eavesdropping. Illegal. Everything that has been done to me has been done to me in a way that has no legal standing whatsoever. And she's talking to me about, oh, she called the cops on me for fucking doing work. She has called the cops on me for doing work on her yard while I'm waiting for my battery to charge. Yeah, that's what she was. You remember that shit, right? There was a fucking she had me on the speaker in the other room, and she's like, "Oh, I can hear you." She keeps turning it up, like trying to make it apparent that she's listening. I'm like, at that point, I didn't really care because I wanted her to understand what was actually going on, and maybe she could fix it by apologizing or being decent to me. Instead, she continued to escalate. She has not tried to de-escalate at all. Every time that I deal with her, it keeps snowballing into something greater. And that's why I have to escalate and raise my voice. That's it. And that's why you see me raising my voice. Before that, I'm quiet. That's caught on camera. They are shady like that, for sure. I've had people peeking in my fucking windows. Like, the situation's messed up. So, I think about bigger things. This first world problems, I'm into the entire world's problems. I've explained earlier today, I talked about the attention market, how the attention market led to all this fraud in general. Like it turned people's eyeballs away from the actual issue. The attention market is basically like the Illuminati. They're trying to grab your attention. That's the kind of stuff I talk about on my channel. That's the stuff I want to be talking about on my channel. That's what I dreamed of talking about on my channel. But instead, I'm being harassed. I thought I'd be in my own space at some point. I never got to that point. I was in my own space in my vehicle. I was more private in my vehicle, sleeping in parking lots. Oh, God. Well, this is the laundry room, and somebody's complaining about, oh, it smells in here. Bro, I got a 15 foot by 15 foot space of a room. This is basically a prison cell, just glorified, and I can go outside. I don't have access to vehicles. It's not like I can go very far. And so I have dirty laundry in here. Of course it's going to smell in here. And people are doing their laundry in here. Of course it's going to smell in here. And I'm a dude. I go out and ride a bike for a fucking living. Of course I'm going to smell. But this is the kind of gaslighting that's been going on. And there's been a lot of talking behind my back, and nobody has had a decent conversation with me. All they've done is also insult me. So the rest of my family also insults me. 2 of them have threatened my life for no good reason. And that's in text. Did I report it? No, because I don't want to put family in jail. My intent is not to put somebody in a fucking cage ever, unless they have absolutely, like, they physically came at me or something, okay? My goal is please just leave me alone so I can function. It's 12:30 at night. You don't go into the room where somebody's sleeping at 12:30 at fucking night. I don't go into your room. You know, I don't go into their room. Why are people doing this to me? I don't do the things to people that people have been doing to me. That's why I think God does have a plan for me, because he's putting me through all this shit. And I half feel like like being able to speak about it. Some people are watching. I can get the information out, and you can see that some people out there, yeah, they're bullshit and they're making up shit. They're actual squatters. They could have got out. They had plenty of, funding and thousands of dollars handed to them, and they do meth or something. They had the ability to fix themselves. I haven't been handed thousands of dollars to go and fix my situation. I can't. I don't even. Well, I can. I qualify for food stamps because I work enough, but I don't even get food stamps. I pay for my own food. I just work all the time, save the cash to get this BS, move to Alaska or some shit. Well, that's the thing, is that what am I going to do in Alaska? I heard that they pay you to stay there, but I don't think it's enough to actually live on. I'd need a job that was remote, or a job that actually, I can make. I can actually do up there. So what happened? Do I have to explain this again? Sure. And I'll try to sum it up. So earlier today, it was really peaceful in this house. It was like we had a conversation, talking about some stuff, getting some stuff done, talking about the future, how I'm going to work on this Jeep out here and fix it and make people happy. And, I drive it around, find out what's wrong with it, then I can fix it, kind of thing. We had established a plan. That was earlier today. I cleaned out a drain earlier today. There was a couple of things that I did, as well as, for the last 2 days before this, there's just so much shit that I've been doing. It's insane. So anyways, what I told you, that's not insane, but what I'm saying is there's too much to go over to really explain what's gone on in the last couple of days. Today wasn't as eventful, but it was eventful enough because I went out 3 times a dash. Anyways, so it's 12:30 at night, and it's 8 o'clock at night. She comes in here. She's like, oh, damn, where's the tongs? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, do you want me to help you move the clothes into the dryer? And I shouldn't be doing that because of my back, but I'm going to do it anyways because I'm going to try to help my mom, right? She responds with insults. She responded with insults, calling me dirty, saying I don't do anything or something like that. I'm like, what the fuck? I just told you I wanted to help you. So that was the response, okay? Hours later, the laundry still isn't completed yet, and I went out to work a third time at 11. That's when my battery was charged. Went out to work, did an order. I went live. You guys can check it out. It's my last live. It may not have uploaded fully yet. May have. All right? But I went out, I dashed, and I came back 12 o'clock. Somewhere around 12 o'clock. I rest my head. I'm about to go to sleep, wake up, do it all over again, and 30 minutes pass, I finally relax, and boom. Oh, we're going to finish the laundry now at 12:30 at night. So now the dryer's running, and at the same time, she's insulting me when I'm saying, like, hey, I'm trying to sleep. I was just making it apparent that I'm trying to sleep. And in a way, I guess I was trying to confirm the reaction, not really trying to get a reaction, not trying to instigate anything, but in reality, just trying to confirm that I said this. I'm trying to sleep. She responds with insults again and starts yelling. I start raising my voice, obviously, because that's the only thing they apparently listen to is emotions. There's no logic built in. I'm trying to sleep. I wasn't being nasty about it. I was just like, oh, I'm trying to sleep. Hoping that it was just a clear hint that, hey, I can't handle the dryer right now. I need to fucking sleep so I can wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, do it all over again. You guys see me streaming at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's because I'm going to sleep and I'm able to actually wake up. There was no disturbance that night, and I beat insomnia. I was able to actually sleep. I'm woke up at 12:30, and I don't believe that I did anything to deserve that, considering that, earlier today I said, I just wish people would let me know before they're actually, doing their laundry. And she agreed. That's the crazy part about this. That's how, like, the left and right, it's weird. It doesn't make any sense. Not logical. Earlier today, she agreed and she's like, okay. And then she told me, she's like, I got to catch up my laundry today. And I'm like, awesome. Oh my God. I got the first time ever she told me, hey, I'm going to be doing my laundry today. First fucking time ever. All right. That was something I was going to cheer on about. I'd be like, fuck yeah. That's what I want to see. People just being decent to each other, being courteous to each other. That's all I want. It freaks me the fuck out. I get all worked up when I see bullshit. Okay. Now, and then that happened. So that's good. You got lucky. And when I was 16, I was told I'm not allowed to get a job. And I ended up, pushing my dad to allow me to get a job. I wasn't allowed to get a job at 14. Oh, you need a worker's permit. Oh, you want to get a driver's permit? No, you're not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to do anything. You're not allowed to go to college. If you go to college, then you don't get a place to stay here. You're going to have your shit thrown out into the woods. Oh, okay. That's what I was dealing with growing up. Not the same level of shit, but it leans towards that. Constantly move from this room to that room to the other room. That's the kind of shit that I was dealing with, especially at 18 and 19 when I was, getting out. And then I got kicked out because I was hanging out with somebody. All right. That's epic. Somebody said they built a house and it was hard. I can't build a whole house. I wish I can do that. That's something that's like end game. I feel like I'm going to be 50 by the time I'm able to do that. But I haven't done framework for a house before, but I've fit pipe in a mock-up house. I've worked on roofs, done metal roofing, shingle roofing, not as much. I was doing more metal roofing than anything else. Oh, I love you too. Welcome. Um, and yeah, so that's what I mean. Like, people don't know very much about me, even if they have talked to me for a long time. They don't even understand that. All right, I've done roofing work, but I didn't build the frame underneath the roof. I understand, the paneling and where you gotta, snap it in and all this stuff, but I didn't actually build the framing for the house. I understand how to fit the pipe. I don't know how to apply that to a water heater. I don't know how to run, the actual apparatus that runs the whole system. But I could learn because I learned how to work on a vehicle on my own with YouTube, of course. I lived off grid for 6 years and worked 2 jobs, saved up my money. That's awesome. That's perfect. I was working 2 jobs doing DoorDash, and I was working at the facility that I was staying at for a time. And then I basically was making so much money on DoorDash that I was like, it sounds like the commercial, doesn't it? I was making so much money on DoorDash that I was like, I'm not going to this job where my skin breaks out. I have to touch all this stuff that's like contaminating my skin, and I don't even get access to a shower. I'd rather be driving around doing DoorDash 24/7 than to be subjecting myself to the stuff that I was subjecting myself to. It was a grow house. So, there's a lot of old stuff there. You end up brushing up against something and you get a scrape. Well, when you don't get an actual regular shower, that scrape turns into a full-time rash. So, and on top of the fact that I had been bit by a spider only a year before that, and it shocked, or a year and a half or 2 years before that, and it shocked my immune system to begin with. So anyways, I went and I started doing DoorDash, and I was doing so well that I was able to stay at a hotel 2, 3, almost 4 times a week. And that's where I would get my shower. I asked these hotels, can I just take a shower and pay you for that? Nope, you have to take the room. You cannot come to this place and just take a shower. All right. So, and then I try to go to a homeless shelter because I was like, where are the resources? Try to go to a homeless shelter. You have to stay here overnight, leave your vehicle in the parking lot to get pop fucking tires and shit. In order to actually get a shower here. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And then, I found options. One of these options, which I had been using before already, is drive 1.5 hours in one direction, 1.5 hours back, to the general area where I'd be, familiar with, and spend $20 on top of that. So that's like $50 in fucking gas. I mean, $50 in total on top of all of it, just to go take a shower. So I was like, what's the point in doing that when I can go pay $50 and stay at a hotel? $50 deposit, $50 hotel stay. So that's what I was doing. I was putting deposit down. It was only $50 one time. Go stay for a few days. I was getting the deals through Travelocity or something. There was like a special place where I was getting the deals on, and I was making it work. It was just, I couldn't keep up with it because, well, yeah, because I didn't have any air conditioning. My skin would still break out. It was bad. I've been having problems with my skin ever since the spider bite. And so I've been dealing with that on top of the fact that my back's fucked and my knee's fucked. I can't stand for an hour and a half without collapsing. I tried that the other day. Like, I stood in one place and, I stood normal for an hour and a half straight. And I was like, I can't do this. I had to go back. I had to go rest my back. And I actually went to sleep basically. Because I was like, I collapsed, like my back's uncomfortable right now. And I'm getting a headache too. But yeah, you could say this is a wine stream or whatever, but this is also a documentation. Somebody came in here, woke me up when I'm trying to fucking sleep. Same person is calling me lazy, telling me I'm not doing enough, and I'm just a terrible person. What the fuck, dude? I've got sleep deprivation. I've lost many, 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 many hundreds of hours of work because somebody is walking in here just randomly when I'm trying to fucking sleep. No notice. This right here is truth, is God speaking to you. See, when you see a problem, that's basically just truth because you actually spotted that problem. You see, when you see things and you just disregard them, then it's not truth. It's lies. You're lying to yourself. If you pay attention to them and see the problem, you may not be the solution, but you may be able to point somebody else that could fix that towards that problem to fix it reasonably in a decent way. But I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm sick of the harassment. This has been years at this point and years of documenting it, and I haven't done shit about it because I feel like, well, it's been a few days. Maybe she actually cares now. It's been a few days. And then I relax and I'm like, yeah, cool. Dying in bitter defiance when no one is watching. I see 5 people watching. I'm gonna take this person off the channel. So somebody says the biggest joke is Americans who believe in God, believe in hell, and they think they won't go, think they've done good enough. That's the funniest joke. If you want to get philosophical and really in the depths of everything, think about it. What are we? What is this? Look around. Why are we not this? Why are we that? This is insane. God has to exist in order for this to exist. God made this place. This is a miracle that we even exist. Otherwise, would we be just floating around as energy? God put us here. God created this. That's how you have to see it. That's the only way that you can actually truly see it at the end of the day. When you look into the science, okay, physics. Physics doesn't disprove God. In fact, it aids the concept. It aids that ideology. It explains how it could actually be true. And it doesn't matter if it's true at the end of the day, though, because what's the goal behind following the Bible or following a religious doctrine? It's to be good to others and also point out truths when they need to be pointed out. You know, if you're dealing with an abusive situation, you need to speak up. You can't let it go on for years like this. I don't watch like sports and stuff. Somebody's talking about McGregor and everything. God exists because there's no other like explanation really for it at the end of the day. Yeah, like really truly think deep. What the hell is this place? Why are we not just energy floating around? We were put here. That's how you have to see it. Even if it's scientifically disprovable, you still have to see that science was put there by something. You know, I've begun to sort of reject the idea of like the way that we describe evolution, because once you look into time and space and you look into those depths and you realize quantum mechanics and, oh, we can't absolutely determine anything. Do we actually have control in this space? No, we don't. At the end of the day, we really don't. You know, quantum mechanics says that, you know, it doesn't happen until we've observed it. And you can't determine what will happen when you observe it before it's been observed without observing it. It's automatic. You can't determine 100% absolutely this will happen, absolutely this will happen. But you can probabilistically say that chances are if you don't do the right thing or if you do the wrong thing, then you have a higher chance of failure at some point. That breeds godliness, but it also breeds Satanism. So Satanism is the knowledge of this, and having the knowledge of it is actually, in a way, satanic. Because a Satanist, they're trying to exploit the knowledge. That's why Lucifer stands for light. It's because they use knowledge against the light. But it is the light. The knowledge, the truth is the light, but they skew it, and that is Lucifer. But I should have been sleeping right now, and I can't sleep because, you know, what, can we blame that on demons? You know? But at the end of the day, you know, it's like, if in fact we do die, what happens after the fact? If we die at some point, well, the dream happens like that. Life would happen like that. Yeah, the dream feels like forever, but it doesn't really actually feel like forever, does it? Because it's only like blips. It's like you see a scene and it cuts, scene, cut. That's the kind of way that we have dreams. You know what I mean? Like there's cuts in between. Here, we don't really have any cuts in between. We're alive. So I actually am starting to believe in automatic immortality. If I were everybody here, I would find God, because we may actually be immortal in our own existences. And these things that we do when we're younger, when we're older, it will travel with us forever and ever and ever. And we'll grow old into infinity as we get way older, way older. We might just stay the same. But other people look like they age. Everything is God, yeah, because God created everything. I believe that immortality in the way that, like, God is the controller over everything. God decides when somebody is gone. But why does God decide, you know, they're gone? So, I don't know. The Venezuela quakes, it really had me, you know, thinking deep about something. I won't get into the details, but we're talking tens of thousands of people have lost their lives, and they claimed, oh, well, there's only tens of thousands of people missing. And it's sad because, like, you know, if they had said immediately, okay, 100,000 people may have died, please save us, send everybody you can to fix this place, they should have been begging the entire world. I feel bad for Venezuela. That is a sick tragedy. And yeah, that was because of the Venezuela earthquakes. There was two of them back to back. And those houses, those huge buildings, they crumbled. And we're talking about tens of thousands of people's lives are gone. But it started making me, you know, really truly think about death again. And that's why I've been kind of digging into, what is this place? And I get scared because it's almost like a bad acid trip where my brain goes, because I'm sitting there like, what is this place really? Like, why am I not just floating energy? But that can be skewed into anything. Why am I not a giraffe? Why am I not a dog? You know what I mean? You know, why do we have this existence rather than a different existence? I would believe that our energy at least is immortal. When I died, I had actually died one time. I went beep on the thing, and when I woke up, like I had seen everybody, like my family was talking to me and stuff, and they were like being mean to me. They were actually bullying me, and it was my dad's side of the family. And I was like, "Go away." That's what I, said in the dream. It felt like a dream. And then I just saw light. So it was like an overwhelming light. And then I woke up. And then I find out like the next day after I left the hospital, or I don't know if it was during or after I left the hospital, but they said that I had died. And my dad was like crying and stuff, and he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe this happened." And it was half an accident, half doing something that, you know, I wasn't trying to have fun with it or anything. I was doing something I attempted basically. And so I was in the hospital and I actually died. And when I died, it was blackness at first. And then I had like kind of like a dream where I saw all my family and they were all like bullying me and insulting me and stuff. And it was on my dad's side. And then I woke up and then I saw my family and I was like, go away, go away. Who are you? You know what I mean? I was like, I don't want to talk to any of you. Like, you have to understand, both sides of my family have abused me. They have emotionally and some of them physically, abused me. This has been going on my entire life. People abused me at school. People abused me on the job. But people have been abusing me my entire fucking life, and I'm done with it. You know? But this is just a documentation video. I hate to have to do these things after I'm done with this video. I got to continue recording. It's so stupid just to protect myself from retaliation. The reason why I do these lives is that so just in case something does happen to me, this is held live and people may have an idea of what happened. Because I don't know. That's a loose cannon in there. I said, "Hey, would you like help?" And I didn't even say it in a demeaning way. I made sure that it was like as proper and decent as possible. And I got yelled at and insulted. I don't care what problems you have in your life. If somebody's asking you if you want help or you would like help or I can help you, and you fucking insult them, and as a response, you have problems and you need mental help. It doesn't matter what the cause of that was. Somebody's being positive to you and you're being negative to them in a way that's like insulting to them. It's insane. And this isn't just a one-off. This is all the time. I never liked drama. When I was in school, people would try to wrap me up in drama and stuff. I was like, "Oh, go away. I'm trying to listen to the fucking teacher. Like, I don't care what's going on over there. I want to read my books. I want to go out and play. I want to have a good time." I love you all too. Thank you for joining and thank you for being, here for me to like actually, vent this. I'd rather just vent this and talk and not have to take actions. I wish people that were causing the issues understood that that's an issue that they're causing and they would just stop. I want peace. That's my whole goal behind pretty much everything that I do. When I go talk to a Dasher customer, I want there to be peace between me and them. So that when I do another order for them and they see me again and they're like, "I appreciate you. Here's a good rating." I don't even care about the tip. I just want a good rating. I want people to know that I'm a good person and to be decent to me That's why, and you know, I'm not a person that's going to be a pushover anymore. I've been abused my whole fucking life. I've acted like a pushover. I'm done. You swerve at me on the fucking road, I might yell at you. You act decent on the road, you give me enough space, or oops, that was an accident, I got too close to you, oops. I understand that. People make mistakes. People make mistakes, but these mistakes have piled up. I've been hit by a car fucking twice. You know, I busted my fucking toe was it 2 weeks ago? Broke my fucking toe in half, busted my knuckle. The thing's still discolored. You want to see this shit? Look at this. Still discolored. See how it's still fucking swollen? That's from 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. Like that thing, it went like that, and it slammed my knuckles together, my toe knuckles, and I was going 45. I was going max speed on my bike, and there was a traffic cone upside down in the road, and it was in an unlit area. So I had my sandals on. If I had my shoes on, I would have broke my freaking whole foot in half. So I'm glad that I only had sandals on and it slipped out of that spot. But when I tell you this stuff, it's like, you know, there's reasons why there's a limited amount of regulations that do need to be in place. Trump understands that. I think Trump wanted to remove all the unnecessary regulations. And that's what he did. So I'm a continued Trump supporter. If you guys hate Trump, well, you know, it's too bad he wasn't there. I think they're not regulated because Trump ain't black. Okay, right. I can't believe I have to fucking make these videos. It's like, it's insane. I have to make these videos. If there's not a camera on, there's somebody attacking me. I have to keep hours-long audio recordings. It's so stupid. You know, I don't record while I'm in like the house or anything. You know, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'll record in here. So I get scared when I'm over there. I will not use the bathroom most of the time, not just because the bathroom's not vacant a lot of the times, but because I don't trust being in that side of the house for too long. I'd rather go middle of the night, you know, tiptoe, grab a glass of milk, tiptoe out. I don't even want to eat in there. Just being a ball. I see what I do. I won't be peeing in a bottle. That's gross. That would make this room smell bad. No good. No, that's bad. Never. But yeah, I just want peace. And I hope me making this video and her fucking coming to terms with the hell she's doing, tomorrow things change and she can be decent. Not be bombastic, not be a loose cannon. It's insane, dude. This is harassment. This is abuse. And it's not that I'm weak to it. Oh, you hurt my feelings. It's that I can't fucking sleep, man. I'm trying to fucking sleep. Let me sleep. You know, they at least started coming in only at 10 a.m. in the morning or later. That's what I noticed as a pattern. They would wait till 10 a.m. before they come in here. That's been a beautiful change. It's amazing. You know, I've noticed the changes. I remember everything. I observe everything. I see the good and I see the bad. I try to ignore the bad. I basically have an elephant memory. But I try to stay chill a little bit. Well, considering I'm fixing the fucking drain and cleaning the whole yard and doing all these shit, like, you know, I don't make any dishes. I use paper plates, paper bowls when I can. Lately, I've been having to use the paper plates that are on that side of the house and eat food that's on that side of the house. I haven't been able to afford my own food lately. After the fucking, another busted toe, I was, down, and I was like, you know what? I'm desperate enough. I'm going to go play with crypto again. So I basically like took a couple of weeks of degeneracy after that situation, and, basically back on track now. But I went degen for like a couple weeks. So, a nationwide 7-day rail pass for unlimited travel on most JR trains, including bullet trains, costs 50,000 yen. I don't know how much 50,000 yen is. But 7-day rail pass, that's not really useful. That's any more than like a couple $100. Like if it was $50 or something, that makes sense. But I mean, Japan's a great country. They do their thing. I respect Japan because they respect us. They made a lot of their stuff based on us. A lot of the anime that's made, the reason why they get the wide eyes is because they're trying to like use us as that avatar, basically. I don't know if you guys realize that. They're not trying to look Japanese or Chinese. They're not trying to look Asian. They're trying to make an American. So it's just an amazing, country. They want people to come over there, but they want white people to go over there. I would go over there for sure. I just don't have the money to do it. I'd fucking go to Japan. Oh my God. I don't care about the tsunami. There's going to be a tsunami one day, but there's also going to be a worldwide cataclysm anyways as well. There's also going to be a reset. I've talked about on my channel quite a few times predictions, and one of these predictions is coming up soon, 2027, a massive move into advanced manufacturing. There's going to be so many things developed that you didn't know could have existed that get put out there, and it's going to be sci-fi, and everybody's going to have access to it, by the way. It's going to be given out freely. These trillionaires are going to make a move to basically hurt us, and they're going to be our masters. They're going to do it through AI. So have that in mind. By 2029, that's when the elites, the AI, have fully completed their corralling effect of everyone. And there will be people that are saved that are not dependent on technology, and you are in the best position you could ever be. And I'm proud of you if you got to that point, because that's what needed to happen, and you're a survivor. If you haven't done that yet, then you're going to have to listen to AI. I'm stuck between two worlds. I get spit out because God says if you don't, if you're not full in your convictions, then he spits you out into the sea. I feel that God will somehow spit me out into the sea. But it doesn't matter. And that's where my perspective is. I feel like I am still going to hell, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to try to do the right things. I don't care if I'm saved. It just feels right to do the right things. It feels good. It's a good feel for me. Because it makes me feel at peace. But when I got somebody that I'm trying to do that and, simulate that with them, and then they start screaming at me and insulting me, like, that's not going to change who I am. I'm already an adult. She did not raise me. I'm an adult. And you're not going to change my mind and how I treat people. I'm me. You just got back from the doctor. Welcome back. You're not really back anywhere because you're just online. You're here. You're online. You're everywhere. The signals are just bouncing off. It's hitting the sun, dude. So have you ever just wondered, though, like, look at the situation. Why are we in a universe that we got a planet spinning around a sun, and then we have the sun itself, and we have certain physics? Why do we have this? What the hell is existence? You really have to think about that. This is like going down into like an acid trip kind of vibe. But truly wonder, what the hell is this and what happens after it? What I believe is that DMT is a good way to understand the afterlife, but like that's if you have the proper experience with it. Other people describe it as a black hole. Like they're getting sucked into a black hole and they're in space flying around with aliens. I was experiencing planets. I was experiencing real things. No aliens involved. It was like full I felt like I was in the middle of space, but everything was kind of like bright to me. I started off my DMT experience with seeing light. It was an overwhelming amount of light. Other people explain it as like a darkness. And that's what confused me. I was like, are you taking the same thing? Because like, but then I started doing the research and I found out that there's different types of experiences. Some people have a dark experience, some people have that light experience, and that's rare. I was getting it consistently, regularly. I did it multiple times. And then there's the people that end up talking to an alien. It's like three main experiences that people have on DMT. DMT is not fake, dude. That was insane. Like that was the most insane trip that I have ever had. I've taken 6 tabs of acid before at once. I had that in my system. Okay? And DMT was like 100 times crazier than that, but it was for a limited time. It was a short time. Yeah, like yeah, it's hard to breathe. Like it hits your lungs so hard, and it's like you're just completely in a different zone. You feel it, and you're seeing it, and you're like interacting with it, as well. You feel like you're comfortable in that place. If taken 100 at once daily, oh god, that's insane. No, it's too much. I had it wasn't even had any pictures on it or anything. It was legit. I was lucky. So I'll put him in timeout. Let's see what happens in 1 minute. I put him in timeout for 1 minute. Somebody said to unsubscribe. Put him in timeout too. 1 minute timeout. Wait, duh, I gotta put subscribers only on, so people have to subscribe. So all messages, I didn't have it set to all messages. So I didn't see this message. Wow. Is DMT only seeing space or aliens? What kind of experience can you have or see? Well, the thing about DMT is that you have to find the actual legitimate. It's like the one that I had, apparently it wasn't as natural as other types of DMT because other people like they actually take it from mimosa root. But this one had some kind of it was pharmaceutical. This chick was getting it pharmaceutically prescribed to her. So she got like legitimate orange powder. And the way that you know for a fact that it's DMT is it will stack up on top of itself like a tower. So you want to be careful with it if you're going to be touching it. You want to be using a tool that's not contaminated with anything. If you smoke DMT, don't smoke it after there's been something in that bowl already. You want to do it out of a clean bowl. You do not want to mix it with weed. Do not mix it with weed. I did that one time. It didn't ruin my experience, but it was just like it wasn't as great. But if you're thinking about doing anything at all in the hallucinogenic sphere, DMT is the only thing that I actually would condone because it's harmless for the most part. Doing it in a responsible place, that's what you need. You would need to be absolutely responsible, do your own research. This isn't advice, but what I'm saying is that if one were to be interested in like another realm or another form of thought, DMT would be the one because DMT is the one that's almost harmless, I would say. Almost harmless. It didn't have any nasty side effects. So if any of you in the chat has tried acid, you get like this down effect. Your brain goes retarded for a whole week. And that happens after the DMT trip, but only for like, what, 45 minutes to an hour. and you come back in full recollection because it was only about 45 minutes to an hour. So that reset that you would feel on acid after you've done it over a week, you would only get that effect for like an hour at the max after the fact. So you would think that, oh my god, DMT, if it goes bad, then I'm gonna have like, you know, a bad effect forever and ever and ever. Nope. In fact, there's more than likely you would have a good experience as long as you are in a controlled environment. So I did it alone. I did it one time with someone else and they did it as well. And then what I did was I did it and then I went for a ride down a hill. And like my buddy and I, we both hit it, and then I was like, wait for like 30 seconds. When you feel the rush, let's go down this hill. And so we did. And that was interesting. So yeah, this video was to basically document another harassment situation. I really don't feel embarrassed about it anymore because it's like I've done everything that I possibly can. I asked her if she wanted help today and I got insulted. There's nothing that I can do to make things, you know, to change somebody to actually being peaceful. So once a person is old and once they've become bitter and, you know, fully angry all the time, they're going to be that way. And especially when the cameras are not rolling. So that's why I have the camera rolling. You know, idealistically, 10 a.m., the earliest that somebody comes in here in the morning. I'm likely gone. I'm not even here at that point because I'm going and I'm working. If I am here, then I'm awake. That's if everything goes right the night before. That's if I'm actually going to sleep at around 10 or 11 at night. Then I wake up at 4, 5. Sometimes, you know, sometimes I'll wake up at 7:30 and I'll be out at 8. But going out that first time of the day early is incredibly important. So I need to be able to sleep at like 9 or 10 so I can wake up at 4. Get ready. You know? So like if I can't find peace enough to actually sleep, then I can't keep, like somebody's like, get a 9 to 5 job, bro. I would get fired because I wouldn't be able to sleep. Imagine if I had a job and she knew that. Imagine if I had a 9 to 5 job instead of a flexible DoorDash job and she knew that. She would make sure to get in the way every fucking day until I got fired. There's no fucking way that I'm going to ruin my reputation in that way on my work ethic. Basically walk into that situation. I'm not going to be walking into that situation. I need to get the hell out of here. I need to be on a spaceship and go. At this point, I'm considering filing because I found out that if I do file, then I might have a place that I can actually go and live peacefully. I tried to make it on my own. I did mostly. Just couldn't get access to a shower. Needed a little bit of help. What was that help? Sleep on somebody's, like, in their front yard, basically. And it's not like I'm disturbing anyone. Okay? I'm not allowed to do that. Okay. It's just a snowball of fucking bullshit. It's stupid. Stupid. I've already gone over it early in this video. It's already documented. I'm so sick of this harassment. The fucking cops didn't help me at all. She fucking lied to the cops. You know, there's a false fucking report saying that I was threatening her life. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna have to ask for the police report on that call and find out if somebody actually lied and said that I was threatening them while I was on camera the entire time. I had my live stream running and she fucking called the cops on me. And then there was another issue. Like I was literally just out here working. She's like, I'm fuck you, Buck, and all this. And then I come into the room, and that's when she started. She's like, "Oh, I'm gonna call the cops. I feel threatened right now. I'm literally behind this barrier. I'm all the way over here." And she's like, "I feel threatened." What do you mean? Make it make sense. People need to be decent to each other. That's all they need to do. They don't even need to be helpful. Just be decent. Get along. You know, the way that I could benefit society by talking about this is by telling you guys to treat each other properly so that people will also treat the next person properly. So I feel like that's why I'm being put under this much pressure in this situation. God hasn't, saved my ass yet. It's because I have to talk about it, and I have to sound the alarm to people on like what's going wrong and what's going decently. What's good in the world today? What can we say that's actually good in the world? I want to think about that for a minute. We're starting to enter a time where computer chips are going to be lightning fast, faster than lightning itself. Because it'll be light instead, light processors. They're processing light beams. Um, yeah, I'm absolutely fucking sick of the situation. I just need to get the hell out of here. I can't even think straight. I'm supposed to be fucking sleeping right now. I can't even fucking think straight because I don't know. Somebody's gonna walk in here and start some kind of problem. Just gaslight queens. Done with it. So what I'll do as usual, I'll leave my audio thing on just in case, and I'll go to sleep in a few minutes. But as you saw, once again, 1:40 in the morning, 1:40 a.m. is when that dryer shut off. That's when I could have slept finally. It's now 2:30, and obviously I'm all worked up. So I've been up talking about it this whole time. I want to be on this channel talking about real shit, stuff that actually applies to people, not my own life. I want to use my life in a way to describe the world around us, but that hasn't been my goal with this channel. The channel started off with having discussions about real shit. What's the question? You saw an alien orb once back in 2001 daytime. I saw an orb, orange, at night, 4 o'clock in the morning. It was around 4 o'clock in the morning. This was at a 4th of July party, I believe it was, and nobody else was with me. And this thing, it was going in one direction, and then it stops. Boom, stops and goes straight up. I'm like, what the fuck? What makes that kind of angle? So that's what it was kind of doing. It was going really, really fast. It was like, obviously it was going like, but it was going too fast to have stopped on a dime like that. But it stopped on a dime. I shit you not. And this thing went like that. And then did little zigzags like that. It was like straight, hard angles. So UFOs are absolutely there. There's things that are flying around us that we can't explain because we haven't officially recognized that technology yet because the government's fucking hiding it from us. I think that's what's going on. You know, they took Tesla's papers. You would think that an organization or a group of people that want to help progress society would give that information that Tesla had openly to everyone so that people could finally find potentially unlimited energy for free. They know something that we don't. And they have technology that we aren't even fully informed about. Amy Eskridge, the P40s, or what is it, the P45s, P47s, that story lines up with what I used to believe, is that aliens are just time travelers. They're us from the future. It would make more sense. Because if you're going to use technology, have you ever heard of Einstein's carousel effect theory? If you go around a carousel and you reach the other side before the light can actually reach that, if you go faster than the speed of light, you reach that other side of the circle, or at least just that point. So it would be like a light wave going that way, and this is you traveling around really, really fast in a circle. But if you make that motion quicker than the light can get to that point, then you go backward in time. That's the theory. That's Einstein's theory, the carousel effect. It's barely talked about, but that's likely the technology that they're using. So they're going backwards in time. I thought about this when I was like 14. I was very young. So I had already considered that 2 decades ago plus. So I was kind of ahead on it. I didn't do any research. I didn't find the documents. What is it, the Project Looking Glass? I didn't find that information. I'll talk about that in a minute. What you just asked, I'm going to talk about that in just about a minute. So I believe that story may actually be real, even though I've rejected the idea more recently. So in the last 2 months, I rejected the idea because I've been kind of recollecting myself about my thoughts again. Recollecting my thoughts. After recollecting my thoughts, I think once again, yeah, aliens are literally just time travelers. These are time travelers that have gone backwards in time. They probably did not bring technology to those eras. But then again, maybe they did. I'm not sure about that still too. So I'm still wavy on that. But anyways, let me answer this. Do you believe a man put 2 species of every animal on a boat? No. I believe the Ark of the Covenant was a real thing, but because Noah, decided to put everybody on this boat, or everybody that he could on this boat, everybody else that had heard about this theory that he had, that there would be a great flood, they also did that too. So that's what ended up saving people in Australia. That's what ended up saving people in Africa and all these other places, So I believe that the notion that you can fit all the animals or every single species on a boat, no. But what you can do is get everybody else to also do the same thing, and then collectively everybody could save a bunch of species. So you could say, in a way, God did create everything because by natural selection, in that way, people were informed, okay, we need to save these animals. Maybe we'll leave behind some of the beasts. They ended up genetically modifying our future. So that's where we're at. We're in the genetically modified future. And it was done by God, but God is in a different type of power. It's an algorithm. It's it's physical more than it is this whole spiritual thought process behind it. Spirituality is built upon physics to begin with, right? So like a physical concept, in order for a spirit to exist, it would need to actually exist. It would have to be tangible in some way. So God is that offset. Basically, let me explain it like this. You throw a ball at a hoop, at a basketball hoop. There's no guarantee that you're going to get it into that hoop. But let's say the hoop is super, super wide. Oh, maybe I will get it in. Exactly. Most of the time, 99.999% of the time, you're getting it in. But you have a chance of it not making it in because maybe your hand slipped. Nobody's perfect. Humans are not perfect. That's how God made us, as imperfect. And that's our limitation. The more good things that you do, or at least the more, let me say it like this. The more bad things that you do, the more likely you'll find failure. The chances, the probability of you failing increase. If you do more good things, then the probability of failing decreases. That's why people are who are true God believers, they say, God is on my side. Because God is issuing that person less probability of failure. That makes sense. So God is absolutely real. You have to understand bad intentions are bad intentions. Somebody wants to do what they would like to do with their life. They would like to consume weed. They would like to drink. That's up to them. It's not up to us to dictate what they're going to consume. However, when it has something to do with you and it interferes with what you're doing, that's when you're supposed to take issue with it. That's hence the Crusades. They were kidnapping people. Persia was, the people over in the Persian army and stuff, they were kidnapping and stuff. And, Scots had enough. And yeah. Did McGregor fake his injury tonight? Did he actually get injured? I don't know. I didn't see anything about the fight, and I don't watch those fights. I also don't like Aiden Ross. He's a decent person, but I just don't like him because he's too shady. That's why. It's not that he's a terrible person, it's that he's just way too shady. I have seen him while making calls with random ass people, and I tried to have a conversation with him, and he went, doop, swipe. I saw him. He didn't want to have a conversation. And that was kind of creepy because I was like, what you doing on here, buddy? You don't want to have a conversation, but that's what you do, don't you? You have conversations. No, you don't want to have a conversation with me? I guess I wasn't gangsta. What if two exactly the same devoted people believe they have God on their side, but are on opposite sides? That's basically like the Quran. If there's apparently Jesus in the Quran is just a random prophet, and like our Christian God is the enemy of Allah or something. All right. The problem with Islam, and it's a subject that I'm about to start doing research on because I began being interested about it maybe a few days ago. I want to look into the Quran. I want to see what's actually being said. AI doesn't really give you a perfect rundown. It describes it as a story. It doesn't really get into the depths of the morality of it. It's weird. It's like more of a story than it is anything that has substance that you can learn from. So anyways, in their ideology, there is jihad. That is the opposite of Christianity. Christianity is to live and let live. Unless they are affecting you, then you got to do what you got to do. You got to lay down the law. So that's why we have like a Christian set of laws. There's, you got to protect yourself. You have the right to defend yourself, stuff like that. But it looks like to me that the Muslims are being tricked into thinking that their God is a great, loving, powerful, positive God. But if it's jihad, then that means changing people by force. That's what a jihad is to make change and to do it forcefully. That's like really the meaning behind it. But when a Muslim, just a basic Muslim, not an Islamist, is taught this, they're taught it from like a positive perspective. They take out the part where, you know, we're talking about forcefully changing. They let them believe that it's just only by suggestion. So that's the difference between these two entities, these two gods, and these two believers. Muslims generally are actually Christians because that's what they're taught, is a Christian version of Islam. Get it? Because they like the true Islamists, the true people at the top, don't want the Muslims to realize that the actual script being like from 1000 AD or no, that's Catholicism. It's like 600 AD or something. That's when Islam was made. It was after Christianity. They don't want the followers to know that they're actually deep down following potentially a violent regime. So they make them think that the word jihad means suggestive. So the reason why I even know this is because I talked to a scholar of the Quran, somebody who's a scholar, and they told me that it was all about peace and love and acceptance. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe they are. And then after a while, after seeing what's been going on, I was able to piece together, okay, no. What's really going on is that person is being lied to. Yeah, he's a scholar, but his opinion is being guided by somebody who knows the truth about it, but will not admit the truth. They want to act like it's just something peaceful, positive, loving. Deep down, jihad is actually to change things. It's in the spirit of changing things by force. And Muslims don't want to see it that way. They want to think change by suggestion. Because what the guy said to me was that his religion is more of like a suggestive religion. Bullshit. Bullshit. You got fucking Sneeko out in the middle of New York, like, everybody's gonna be Muslim. Everybody's gonna, this is Mamdani's New York. You saw him speaking out. That's taking off the fucking mask for the entire religion. He said it in American words, bro. He knows the truth. And he's on that side. Enforced change. That was about 6 years ago that I met that person. And that's when I was able to hear about this. But I had talked to people all the way around the world. I've asked everybody's opinions. I know there was one chick in Indonesia. She switched over from Christianity over to Muslim. And she was explaining quite a bit about it. And she was like, oh, it's just a loving, peaceful religion. And I'm like, oh, okay. I don't really care. It's just you believe what you want to believe. I'm trying to get, a friendship here. Let's continue talking type shit, We don't have to be ideologically this way or that way. In fact, it's better to have kind of opposite type people in a relationship. But let's see. Let me read this again. Who wins? Who has the lesser property of failing? They need to be in their own regions. Americans are in America. Middle Easterners, Islamists and stuff, they can stay in the Middle East where their religion is. Okay? Israel, they can stay where their religion is. Done deal. All right. What about Moses? He killed or crusades, changing beliefs forcefully. Have you encountered Charlemagne? Charlemagne the God? I haven't watched him, but I've seen his little clips. I'm not a fan, but I don't really care. He's a nice dude, but like I'm not a fan because his he's not really that smart. He didn't really have many strong positions on anything. It's like, man, what do you think about this? And he's like saying something in one direction, and then the person's like, I love this thing, and then he changes it around to, oh yeah, I love it too. Like that's the kind of shit he does, and then he's like, yeah, I love it too, but then, well, what about this? And he tries to like steer somebody over, but he doesn't have enough facts to steer anybody over. It's so silly, Charlemagne. Um, Sufism, I've never heard about that. Hmm. But if religions stay where they originated, then Christianity would have stayed in the Middle East as well. But there was no great religion over here in America, and we were actually stepping away from the monarchy, the brand new religion, Catholicism, that had taken place. And so we fled in Europe, we fled Catholicism to have our Christianity. So America is like more Christian than the UK, where we came from, because that's what we came here to do. We're running away from persecution, I think it's known as. So we escaped. We're the refugees. We ran away from oppression. That's why we're here. The British came over, followed us over, and they fucked with the Indians. Look at the French and Indian War stuff. There's all these things that happen, and it's because these big nations followed us over. The fucking attention market followed us. You know, people think it starts with the Rothschilds. No, it starts way before that. It starts just before the beginning of this nation, really. Oh, I was talking about the guy who forcefully killed anyone who converted to Christianity in Europe. Charlemagne killed many. Oh, I haven't seen that. I haven't looked into that. I've heard about his name. That's another, I heard about the name, but I never actually read into it. That's interesting, though. So, yeah, some people are just bad apples. You know, the Crusades, that was more of like getting our people back. There was a lot of territory stolen. We weren't so friendly with Gallic tribes, which is like interesting because it's like, that's where I'm from, Scotland, the up north areas. Britain is different than Ireland. Ireland and Britain are not friends. Did you guys know that? Those two countries are not friends. And then they started pouring in a bunch of Somali migrants into Ireland, taking over entire villages and getting freebies. And that's why they're pissed, because they were like, we kicked out the Brits. We finally got rid of the fucking Brits, and now they're bringing over the Africans. You know, everybody's dealing with shit that, you know, the other person doesn't actually see until it's said to them. Jesus loves all of us, even the ones that are causing issues. And you know why? Because demons are possessions and they are not people. Demons can be beaten out of people through exorcisms, or if that person gets rid of that demon themselves. So I don't see evil is in the form of a human. I see evil like manipulating a human. So even the people who feel like they're totally evil and they feel like they're badass and everything, no, you're being manipulated by an energy. At any point in time, you know, you lose a leg or something, you're gonna convert to God. I promise. You're gonna be like praying, please God save me. You know what I mean? So it's like you're never truly fully evil. Once you fucked up, you're gonna convert. You saw there was this dude, I think he was in Texas, that got the death penalty, and he did the nastiest, most terrible thing you could imagine. And you know, at the end of his trial, when he's getting convicted, like fully, you know, processed, he's like, I believe in God, though. Most evil fucker you could ever see. He took out a 3-year-old after doing weird, it's like he definitely deserved what he got, but at the end of it, he converted. So the demon was beat out of him because he realized, oh shit, and it's because the demon left. It went on to possess another human. That body was of no use anymore. So if you feel like you're evil and you're just like badass, no, once evil is done with you, you don't have that power anymore. Jesus was a super cool guy, a brown communistic anti-authoritarian. Have to love that. No, he was just spreading common sense and breaking down the truth. He exposed the money traders, that kind of shit. That's what Jesus did. He was just talking about the truth. He was spreading God. God is truth. Mark 16:16, I'm not sure. You'd have to recite it. Basically, I've listened to the entire Bible. It's like 87 hours. I've listened to the entire Old Testament and New Testament Bibles, but it's been in, segments while I sleep, while I'm relaxing. So it's kind of like mixed up. There's like sections of it that I wasn't awake for. What about Steve 613? I think you just made that up. Yeah, you did. Yeah, the Old and New Testaments, like the audiobook, it's 87 hours. Yeah, you can go on YouTube, look up Bible Full, and it'll be one of the first ones. It'll say Old and New Testament. APO? Don't know. Apostles, yeah. Apostles. So, which one is that? It's like Apostles. I don't know if it's got some other name that's part of it, but yeah, there's so many books. It's insane. Melanie 2020 22. You talking about your girlfriend? She's 22. Damn, nice. I bet she does TikTok. Imagine being an adult and like doing silly dance videos. I was actually gonna be doing that at some point. She did ask for a $500 tip, bro. Throw that $500 tip out. Fucking. I'll make cheeks shake. Dance with they're cool. How long am I homeless? Oh, amazing. You don't give me 500, but I don't even get $5 fucking tip on my GoFundMe. It's explaining my medical problems. I got one $60 tip or $60 donation, and then that was it. I haven't seen a single donation since. It's like if you are not promoted, if you're not already rich, then you can't get funding even on GoFundMe. GoFundMe is rigged, just like everything. I realized that I had my profile as hidden, it was private, so it didn't appear on the launch page. Okay, so it didn't appear when it was brand new, it appeared probably never on the feed, like weeks later, because I realized that it was private. Apostle, all believers were in one heart and mind. No one claimed that any of their possessions was their own, but they shared everything that they had. Well, they were also, it's how you survived in a village. That's not communism. That's just how it works. You have to go to work. If people are not being productive and building things, then there is no trade. Without trade, there is no extra. You see, because capitalism only works because some things are cheaper at some points in time while they're more expensive at other times. So there's like freedom of flexibility, okay? The free market. Let me get really true to the point here. what's happening today is it's like it's almost socialist, it's close to socialist, and there are benefits for people, but not the right people are getting the benefits. The wrong people are getting those benefits. So there's plenty of money to go around. If, there is help for me, I'm just not rigging the system to actually get it. I wouldn't have to rig the system to get it, but what I mean is that there are people out there that are rigging it and are getting that money. So that money's going somewhere, but it's going towards fraud. Get it? Who's asking for money? Is somebody asking for money in the chat? Somebody said shake it for 500, and I said, "Oh, I'd make the cheeks jiggle," as a joke. And then I said, man, what is it? Oh no, they said, yeah, they said do it then, and I was like, bro, I ain't even seen freaking tip on my GoFundMe. That's why I said that. I wasn't asking for money, so pay the fuck attention, Tetris Blue 86. You fucking Gen Xer, get the fuck out of here. Get your fucking ears cleaned out. Maybe your eyes too, because obviously you didn't read the chat. Do a backflip. I've done a backflip before. Did it one time. I never do it again. It was scary. I see all kinds of people doing backflips and shit. And it's crazy. I just don't. I seen NB Construction. Go look them up. NB Construction. Dude shoots a nail in his leg and he's like, "Oh, now it's demonstration time. This is how we do it." Fucking patches the thing up and goes back to work. He didn't even leave, the spot that he was sitting in where he got shot. So he gets a nail gun, just shoots into his leg, and he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna wrap it up and do this thing, and I get back to work." I'm like, "Damn, that's fucking legendary, man." So NB Construction, if you guys want to go see a cool construction crew that's actually doing it, they'll give you some tips and tricks on how to do stuff. I learned stuff through that now. I'm always learning through that. Like almost all my shorts, it's like 70% to 75% of them is crafting and like machinery videos and manufacturing. The other 25% is all politics. There's like maybe about a 1% of fun videos that I'll see, such as today I was seeing a couple of cars driving like really, really fast and really loud. $3 million Buick getting tearing the road up. It was insane. What was that channel? I don't even know what that channel is. It was brand new. I don't watch that kind of stuff. That's why I don't get it in my feed very much. But sometimes I'll find a cool video. Like somebody they flew a bike off 70 feet down a dirt hill, and they like landed and they made it and it was like safe. And that was insane. Red Bull, dude. Red Bull is impressive. What they do is beyond insane. So like I saw, okay, this isn't even about Red Bull. I was thinking about a different video that I saw before I brought up Red Bull. But like I saw a dude, he flew off a dune and he had a parachute for himself, did the parachute, his bike falls out from underneath him, and like that's got a parachute too, and the dude's just like gliding down is like insane, dude. But Red Bull is incredible. You guys see the longest skateboard ramp ever? And the dude did that on a skateboard. That was insane. It's just insane. The stuff that they do in Red Bull is very impressive. Some dude he did a surf a wakeboard backflip. I think it was a wakeboard over a plane. No, he did a surf. Yeah, he did a surf jump on a wave over a plane. I barely remember these things because it's like barely on my interested list. I'd rather watch Anton Petrov, What the Math, talk about today was it today how water can turn into ice and actually be flexible under 60,000 times. So 60,000 times the atmospheric pressure of Earth can cause ice to be flexible like it's clay. So that's a new founding. They also made a artificial cell. So it's not alive, but it works as a cell. I hate to have to put you in timeout, but that's my first warning for you. We're going to put you in timeout for a whole minute. That's my first warning for you. I'm going to give you a second warning if you do it again, and it's going to be a 24-hour timeout. Got it? You say that nasty word on my stream, you're going to get banned. Give you one warning. I don't have to be a wokey to not like people using the N-word. You're cool, they're just trolls. Well, I still have to stand my ground, though. I still have to respond. Because if we don't respond, then people get the wrong idea and they are led to conclusions. I like to be full, thorough, explain it all. I have no problem with it. The reason why I'm good at that is because I've been doing that my whole life. I've been having to explain myself and consistently explaining myself all the time. There's so many people that talk shit about me behind my fucking back that I have to constantly keep people updated with this is what happened. Whatever somebody else told you is bullshit. I have to protect my image every fucking day because I don't own anything. I'm in a bad situation. Automatically, I'm a terrible person because I don't have things. It's stupid. But this night wouldn't be like this at all if it hadn't have been for a disturbance. Wish me luck, everybody. I am going to go to bed in a minute. I'm going to read the comments and try to give quick responses. If you got any last minute comments, you better send them because I'm going to sleep soon and I'm going to keep my audio on just in case, like I have been. So, hey, bro, did you know it was highly nutritious to walk around your local neighborhood? And that's nasty, dude. You're getting off my channel for good. That was nasty. Okay. Are you the guy I was trolling and you fought back a couple of weeks ago at the gas station? I wouldn't have been fighting 2 weeks ago. I had a busted foot. I don't think that was me. Are you in Florida? Because I'm in Florida. All right. Let's see. Why Russia is not communistic, dude? Yeah, Russia is like communist, but the thing is that they aren't full. They're not. What is it called? Fascist, right? They're not fascist. So people still have their autonomy. People are allowed to, live out. If you want to go to Siberia, there's no rules out there, but that's where criminals get sent to Siberia. So you're ending up dealing with some crazy people if you get sent to Siberia. That's the gulag. That's Tartaria. Let me bring up Tartaria, I guess, for a minute too, right? I believe that Tartaria was a decentralized, basically Badlands identity for a non-nation, but they were still given that name. And one of these, it's said in the Bible somewhere, somebody had said, I will send you to Tartarus, as if it was a place. So Tartaria is more of like a conceptual identity rather than it is a race of humans or anything. It's just people from random countries had enough of their people, so they sent somebody. They send people into the woods to never come back, but a lot of them did end up coming back as hordes. That's probably how Muslimhood ended up being created. That's probably how the Muslim tradition actually began, was because people were getting kicked out of the Christian side or getting sent out into the Badlands. So in reality, Muslims are against, or Islamists are against Christian ideology only because there were corrupt Christians in charge. So people had gained access, like people stayed uninformed about the truth. That's the reason why any of that happened. All right. Horde or alliance? Ah, that's a good question. So some of them built alliances. Most of them were just hordes. It was the Badlands. Somebody investigating the Great Wall of China pointed out that it looked like the wall was built to keep people in China rather than actually keep people out of China. So that's an interesting fact. I was like, oh, and he went to the place and I think he went to the place. You have to understand, I've seen thousands. Tens of thousands up to 100,000 videos are all in my head. I have viewed that much media. I've binge watched. But that was after I formulated my own thoughts, my own theories, because most of my theories come from like my own humble place. I had developed these theories a long time. All I did while watching these documentaries and watching stuff, picking up information, was confirm this or disprove that, or 100% just basically guide stuff based on the facts. Simple. To create an entire worldview, I needed to confirm it. There were things that I had already practiced in real life. It's like once you hit 37, because I'm 37, once you hit 37, you've seen so many things that you're able to compile it eventually. And that's the whole thing. You got to come into contact with that much experience to learn that much. Some people give up and they stop experiencing things. And that's why they get old and bitter. And they want to tell everybody else how useless they are and how lazy they are. It's because they stop that cycle and they don't have any sort of appreciation for knowledge. That's why you see angry old people, because they've given up and they don't want to see you do better than they did, because they can't talk about their legendary great things that they did. If you did something more legendary, they won't stand out. They'll just grow old and become nothing. I've already fulfilled my ego. I've already satisfied my ego. I'm not out here for an ego. What I am out here to do is to set the truth right, set the truth where it's at. If everybody just simply got along, I wouldn't even be on here. Because I'd be interacting with those people, Muslims had mage and hunters and only needed paladins. I don't know. All I know is that the Muslim religion, the Muslim faith, was created after Christianity, and also Catholicism was created after Christianity. It's based in Christianity, but it's not Christianity. We fled Catholicism because it ended up getting corrupted. What is it? Like back in the day, they had Roman gods, Greek gods. They were not following Christianity. So they were against Jesus, of course. Jesus was against them because they weren't telling the truth. Let's see. So if Muslim tradition is newer than Christianity, it's automatically invalid. There has to be an original. Your ego says a lot of these things and you haven't even got a clue. That didn't even make sense, dude. Come back on my channel when you got grammar. Tomorrow, 24 hours. Get some grammar, dude. Looks like a troll to me, and just give him a 24-hour ban. You have to understand, I really don't care if I'm talking to no one or if I am talking to tens of thousands of people, because I feel like tens of thousands of people are already got my data and I need incognito. I'm just gonna start. Imagine if I started like an advertisement. So, anyways, what should I talk about? Go ahead and be bombastic. Try to disprove what I'm saying. Go ahead. But if you're just gonna like take an opportunity to insult, it's not really annoying. It's not really bothersome. It's just in the way. It's like shoot. And by tapping a button, block or timeout, that's just shoot. First it was the Jews, then Christians, then Muslims, and why none of them went over others because new patch released. Good point. But the patch, the thing is the Muslim patch isn't really a patch. It's like its own separate system. They're the anti-Christian. I don't know, I might be Jew. I might be Jewish at the end of the day because I mean, like, I listen to the Old Testament too, so I have it on repeat. I'm listening to the whole thing for a second time after rewinding it a bunch of times and listen to this book, that book. Where did I leave off last? I ended up listening to the whole thing through. Every time, just pick back up where I had left off. 87 hours, Old and New Testaments. So I mean, like, I've seen like millions probably of video because I've done a lot of 2x. Watch things on 2x. So I cut that shit in half. I'm listen to it quicker. Not the Bible. I listen to that shit slow because you got to catch every little piece. That's how I started, was like just listen to everything on 2x. I needed to suck in that much information. I was like, information? They have this information out there now? I can learn more about Japan? Oh my god, I don't have to sit there and dig through text for hours and hours to find out more? I first started looking through YouTube because I was curious about Japan. I had been playing the games for so long. I had been watching the anime for so long. I wanted to know actually what the hell are they actually doing over there. And then I looked up Japan. It's shoving in my face China. And it shoved in my face China conspiracy, forced organ harvesting. Whoa. Okay, somebody said, back then, mages were so strong, and knights now hunters and shamans. I'm sorry, that didn't make any sense to me. I don't understand what you mean. But that's okay. You know what I mean? If you meant something cool or something that was specific, I'm sure it meant something. But I don't understand it. Maybe there's a reference in there that I don't know. There's a conspiracy like that Merlin was actually King Arthur, and that was just imagination, King Arthur. But yeah, hey, check this guy out, guys. For those who have been watching my channel for quite a while, you know that I keep getting flat tires. When was my last flat tire? Weeks ago. Why? Because I'm not riding in the freaking breakdown lane anymore. Imagine that. That's the only thing I changed, was I stopped riding in the breakdown lane. And now I don't get flat tires. Imagine it. And I don't have to ride in the breakdown lane. It's a breakdown lane. And if it's a bike lane, however, there's a bunch of trash in the bike lane, I also don't need to use the bike lane. So if you want to continue dumping trash into the bike lane, well, fuck you. I'm going to be in your way. Look up the laws. And not fuck you, I'm going to be in your way. Haha, yay, I love to do that. It's fuck you, I'm going to be in your way, and I hate doing this. I hate being in people's way. I hate being a problem for anyone. But I also know that, there's people out there that the only thing that they actually react to is when they're hurt. It's stupid. Anyways, I am going to go and I'm going to just do like I said. I got to be really diligent about the making sure that I have this thing on audio record. Because anything could happen in the next few days, right? I don't think it's too much to just, want privacy in a fucking room and be told when somebody's actually coming into that room. Yeah, there's a curtain there and stuff, but that it doesn't prevent any noise. It also doesn't even prevent the light being turned on, especially middle of the night. That's all I asked for. As well, not to blast your freaking television to the point where I can't sleep. I can hear it 2 rooms away. I shouldn't be hearing your television from 2 rooms away. I don't hate people. Like I said to you, I said to this audience here that demons are not people. Demons possess people. Demons can be pulled out of people. Hence an exorcism. If you're an evil person out there, anybody listening to this, if you think that you're an evil person, oh, I'm the darkest, that is the devil fucking tricking you. You are not a demon. You cannot be a demon. You can also not be God. You're a human. You're made here. By understanding that and accepting that, that makes you godly. To understand your weaknesses and to understand your limitations, that's God itself. So, I mean, if you want to find God, reject the idea that you're a God. Then you get godly status. Simple. You are godly by accepting that you are not a God. And that is truth. So if you accept the truth, then you are expressing God to begin with. I'm not God. I don't pretend to know absolutely everything. What I am telling you is I'm telling you what I do know. If I don't know about something, then I don't know fully about something. Welcome, Angel Watcher. I've seen you quite a few times, and I appreciate your engagement here on this channel. I could say in the last couple of months, I was already confirming that I am Christian, but in the last couple of months, I have gone hardcore in that direction, and my heart is lightening, and that's what bothers me about this situation, is being stuck in this situation where I started feeling like, good, like a really, really good feeling, and I still feel it. Please, trolls, stop making things hard. If whoever's a troll and you think that the devil's going to pay you for being an asshole, no, the devil's using you. Once you're irrelevant to him, you're completely irrelevant. It's a demon possession. It's temporary. Once you do one thing that he doesn't agree with, then X's you out. It doesn't X you out. It just, leaves your body, and then you end up finding God. And by that time, you're like that dude who got the penalty, the end penalty, for doing something really fucked up. You guys hear about that dude in Texas? He was a delivery driver, and he did something to a small, very young child. And he got the penalty, man. And I think that was perfect. I'm glad that they made that statement just by doing that. I think rapists should be met with that, not that you can't, bang them or anything. I'm just saying the same kind of force. Yeah. I have never raped somebody. I've never done something to somebody physically that they didn't ask for, they didn't actually accept. Yeah, trolls don't believe in God, but the thing is that it's not their God. Like, demons are not people. Demons can be possessed by people. That demons can possess people. In reality, at the end of the day, it's the attention market. So the attention market is the big thing. It's like Lucifer itself. It's the Illuminati. It's grabbing your attention. So that's all connected. The attention market is directly connected to Lucifer. The attention market, mainstream, will make you believe something that may not be true just to serve their narrative. Yeah, people think they are demons sometimes. And I think I'm a demon too, but then I find out I'm just a slave of demons. I hear noise, someone screaming in my autism. Break it thanks to what the fuck are you saying? If that was true in any way, yeah, a demon would be using you and kind of tossing you out after your use. Once you've already landed in jail and stuff, the demon is waiting for you to get out of jail, and then it'll possess you again when you least expect it. That's the Matrix. Well, you got to think of this. Us living right now in a black hole theory, that's possible. And when we poof out of existence, we might appear in another black hole within the black hole. And that might be the loop. It's kind of wild to think about, right? We can't guarantee 100% that when you fall into the black hole, automatically you're eaten up. If, let's say, you avoided the heat barrier, basically there's like a zone of heat. If you can avoid that section and get into the black hole in a different way, then you might get like stopped in time, and basically you might have a reality like this. So I don't know. That's what some people are talking about recently, and I'm just like, that's really where we're going with this. But anything's possible at this point. I look around and I'm like, this is wild. This is like, why are we not snakes? Why are we not tables? Why are we not something else than we are currently? I think about it from this perspective. How the fuck do I have red hair? Why am I unique? I don't get it. It's annoying. And then I see other redheads, and there's like certain redheads that are like kind of like me. Then there's a lot of redheads that are not like me. I feel like the Irish are not like me, but the Scottish are actually like me. I feel like there's differences. Like Germans, barely like me. They kind of like me. It's almost like you belong with your specific race. And that means Irish, different than British, different than Scottish, different than Scandinavia, different than Russia, different than all these countries. Every one of these countries belonged where they had originally been. However, when it came to Christianity, we all came under the same ideology, and we were like, hey, this is how we can connect with each other. So we weren't really united ideologically under a no faith. We were absolutely ideologically connected through faith. What they say, the only time that somebody can be elected is if they are Christian. back in the day, you could only be a person in charge of anything in America if you were a Christian. That's how it used to be. Might want to get back to that. Shouldn't be having the Elon Omars sitting there, America's bad, and then sitting in that fucking seat, allowing all this fraud to take place. Nah, dude, deport that bitch. How dare she? Fucking billions of dollars just let slip out. We need to care about these people, bro. If you're caring about people in general, you would care about me. You would care about the guy down the street. You'd care about, the grandma still needs help. She's got, health issues. You would care about all these people and not specifically the fucking gangs, the exploits. Like, the mask is fully off with these people. It's kind of obvious what they've been doing the whole time. I hope that everybody has woke up to that, understood that the people in charge right now, you have people who actually believe in a God, or at least believe in the nation, which was built in the spirit of God. And, yeah. I'm tired, dude. I'm losing my freaking brain. But I'm, like, afraid to turn the video off. Because I feel like the moment that I turn the video off, there's just going to be hell. But I hope it makes sense. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm being irrational by wanting somebody to let me know before they come in the room and start making all this noise and stuff. But then, even if it did happen, don't insult. Like, don't launch insults at people. It's easy. I already have problems sleeping. I can't be dealing with, oopsie, I gotta do the rest of my laundry when it's fucking Sunday tomorrow. It's not an emergency. It's not like you got work tomorrow. It's Monday. It's fucking Sunday tomorrow. I still need to do my clothes. I'm re-wearing my clothes right now. But it's the weekend, so I'm staying out of the laundry room. I'm sitting here suffering, not doing my laundry because I'm waiting for other people to complete their laundry because it's the weekend. That's when they do the laundry. And then got somebody in here at 12:30 in the fucking morning waking me up to do their laundry. I'm trying not to step on anybody's feet. I'm on eggshells here. The only one who cares about USA was Marcus Aurelius. That they didn't let him come to the pit. I don't know who that is. We live in a narcissistic world. It doesn't have to be that way if we work together, if we actually find the people who intend to do the right thing. And that's why AI surveillance. Everybody's going to hate that. Boo, boo, AI surveillance. That's what needs to happen. I'm done playing the guessing games. You find out 5 years down the road that this person is absolutely violent or something. I need to know that immediately. There shall be no more privacy. All fully transparent. I know everybody's going to hate that. Boo, boo, boo. But full transparency. Get the fucking truth out. I'm sick of this shit. I want all my skeletons out in the open and everybody else's at the exact same freaking time. Your skeletons come out of your closet. I get to see them. My skeletons come out of my closet. Everyone's got a fucking skeleton. And the ones that haven't been exposed for that skeleton yet are sitting there like, ooh, I'm so great. I'm so, perfect and everything. And they're allowing demons to trick them into lying about themselves, lying about who they truly are genuinely. And it's going to fuck them in the end because, because they lied. Imagine having on your internet history a ton of lies. So you said a lot of things online or even in real life. It was picked up on by a camera or an audio device or something. And then you said something else. And then when everything's fully transparent and then it's found out that you're literally saying one thing and then saying another thing behind the person's back. Once that shit gets figured out, we can remove the people in society that are causing problems. The ones that the demons love the most. So it's going to take a much bigger system than just regular law and order to take care of this big problem. There's a lot of people lying, and there's a lot of data, there's a lot of shit that's being hidden. So Damocles is greater than Henry Austin. I don't know these people. Like I can't hype or speak on specifics, even if it's in the Bible, because like there's only so many stories that I can like truly relate with and like recite, like the Samson story. So Samson. Has anybody looked into the story of Samson? It's very interesting. He had a wife, and the wife ended up finding some little gnomes, and these gnomes hated Samson. They wanted to like harm him or ruin him or take from him or something. And they asked the wife, "How can we do this?" And the wife's like, "I don't know. Well, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to, know his secret? Like, how is he so strong?" Like, she didn't know that that's what their intention was at first. But she ended up getting lured into doing a bad thing and finding out Samson's weakness and using it against him. His weakness was to chop off all of his hair because he was, what is it? The same thing that Jesus was. Began with an N, something it. Bethlehem. What's it? That's where he was born. But what's that? What's that word? Say it in the chat. It begins with an N. Nazarene. Yeah. Well, he still made him a Nazarite. That's what I read. Is that he still became a Nazarite, and he was told never to cut his hair, and that keeping his hair long and braiding it will give him ultimate strength forever and ever and ever. But never cut your hair, because that's Nazaritic, is to keep your hair long. And anyway, so the wife was tricked into telling these little gnomes, these little trolls, basically, what his weakness was, and that was to chop his hair off. So they went to go chop his hair off. I think it was either him or the gnomes or even the wife that went to do it. And I think she might have actually done it. So ended up chopping his hair. He had less strength, but he still had enough strength to pull the roof down from the building he was in, and it would topple onto like a bunch of bad people. And so at the end of the day, he ended up dying, collapsed by the roof of the building. He was tricked by his wife to reveal his weakness, and then his weakness was used against him. And these are just these stories. It's like, be careful of this, watch out for that. If I had known the Samson story a long time ago, I would have been acting differently around chicks a lot more. I would not have been as open as I am. I did not realize that until it was too late, until I was attacked. That's what women do. They'll trick you into revealing your weakness, and they're doing it because they want to feel cool, and they want to feel, brave and smart or included and smarter than somebody else or something, or more in control. When in reality, they just killed him. So it's either illogical for them to do it, or evil runs through females more than it does males. It has has a stronger hold on females than it does males. But like I said, there's no such thing as a human demon. Demons possess people, and they are never the actual person. So it can be removed from the woman, and that's why you don't ever give women power, because they are the most susceptible to the demon, and therefore the demon will use that power that she has against the male, where the male is powerless against the female when the female is in positions of power. See what I mean? They're using glass sculptures against us, basically. If everything's if our defense is a glass sculpture, if that's what's defending us from harm, it's easier to take us down. That's why our enemies put women in charge. Women are more susceptible to demonic possession, and so that's where the devil goes the most, towards the women. So you don't put them in leadership positions. And it's not their fault. It's just physics. It's how they're built. They're different. Yeah, evil definitely touches males too, but you know, females are the most effective when they're psychologically operated on. Let me read these. Yeah, in the original Bible, he teaches us exercise. No, he wasn't God. Okay. His hair was special. Oh, wait. Nate Diaz was the first Jew who came to Christianity. Like, people separate Jews from Christians, but in reality, the only difference between Jewish and Christians is that Jews believe Jesus hasn't come yet. And they also have like 140 different commandments. So it's super complicated. That's why their whole religion is based around study, because there's so much shit to learn. It's insane. You got 140 something commandments that you got to memorize, as opposed to 10 in the New Testament. So that's the Old Testament. Like, it's 140 something. Why do most mystical homeless all die in the Bible? I'll have to look into that. Heroes of Greece, sorcerers of China. It's all a alien design, a space invader plan. I don't know. I'd have to look into that. Soap McTavish one time said to don't show your power to disabled people or say you got the disability too. And that's where I've fucked up. I've had to expose everything in my fucking life just to protect myself from the woman. You have to understand, she tried to put me in a mental institute for nothing. I'm laying in a bed trying to recover after being hit by a car, and she's like, I'm gonna call the cops on you. It's a little dirty in here, you know. She was doing that kind of shit. I had to go and expose my entire fucking life on my fucking YouTube just to protect myself. That's why I did this. I knew it already. By the time I dealt with this situation where it got this bad, I had seen the story of Samson. I had already known. No, I just need to get the fuck out of this house. And if it takes at this point putting a fucking filing something to get the fuck out of here and getting a fucking house to go live in, is gonna, you know what I mean? Like, just leave me the fuck alone so I can work. I'm never gonna make it to where I can get into a vehicle if I got people waking me up at 1 o'clock in the morning, keeping me up till 1:40 in the morning. Now I'm up for a couple more hours, but I mean, what the fuck, dude? You know, I got all worked up. I think that's my final warning, that just leave me the fuck alone, or I'm going to, like, have to do something about it, because I need to get the fuck out of here. I am unsafe. I'm getting sleep deprived. On top of that, insulted, threatened, stalked. I need to survive, and I don't want to have to do that. Like, I'll explain it again. I need $150 minimum, but really, it might actually work after just $150 to get my other bike fixed so that I can continue to work after my other battery's dead. So instead of waiting for my battery to charge, I already have another battery to charge. If I had that, then I'd be able to make enough fucking money to earn a car. I said this before I got this thing. What I said was, especially if it wasn't 100 miles like it fucking claimed on the website, hey, it wasn't 100 miles. I told her to send in a message to Amazon and get a fucking refund, a partial refund for it not being 100 miles. That never happened. I could have probably got about, that could have been like another $300. That would have gone right to the bike, to the other bike, and I would have had two fucking bikes running. All right. I actually have video evidence of this bike only reaching, it was like, at first, it was like a maximum of 25 miles. I forget. It's on a video, but I have it recorded. And it wasn't the 100 miles that the thing had boasted on their site. It definitely went 45 miles per hour. The other bike that was being looked at, that was suggested to me to get, it was rated for 37 miles per hour max. So it would max out at 37 miles per hour. Imagine me having that bike and not making it to these destinations to get these orders done in time. Ever. It has to look like I'm driving a car when I am doing these jobs. I found out that they added the e-bike and bicycle options again in my area for door dashing, but it's limited schedules. So that's kind of cool that they added it again, but you still need a license in order to do that. You cannot DoorDash without a license, far as I know. Work ethic and life skills. Forget a job, get work. Make a name of yourself, free will. Well, that's kind of what I've been doing. Like, I've been out here in the crypto space a little bit too recently, and getting some, like, some of the people that are joining right now and some of the people that have joined during this time are literally brand new from the crypto space, probably watching this like, what the fuck is going on? He was just making, bomb calls on, these tokens and that token, but he's homeless. He's basically like homeless. He doesn't have money. Yeah, because I can give good advice. I can't take my own advice. I'm not dumb. I'm just reluctant to actually take actions. There's different roles for different people in society. There's thinkers and there's doers, and there's people that can do both. That's me. But without the tools, I can't do both. What's the advice that I have for myself right now? Continue doing what I'm doing because that's all I can do. I think I've got the right idea. Chase a couple of crypto projects and see if I hit it big. That's what I could have been doing right now, is in crypto and still expanding there instead of being kept up, but instead I was going to go to sleep, in fact. But I got to go to sleep as soon as possible right now so I can wake up before the fucking, nuisance occurs tomorrow. But if there's anybody in my fucking family right now that's watching this video, all I've ever asked for was decency. And everything that has happened, I've been lied to, like, about that this would happen, that would happen. None of it happened, and everybody talked behind my back. If you're in my fucking family and you're watching this, you have talked behind my back for years, and you have no fucking words left for me to listen to. Okay? I need to get the fuck away from my entire family. I need to leave and never come back. But I need to leave in a good position, because I have lost years and years of work due to sleep deprivation and harassment. We'll talk about damages. Sleep deprive somebody, wake somebody up at fucking 12:30 and make them think twice about sleeping the next night. Yeah, that's damages. Talk about fucking, she was trying to, oh, I'm gonna put a defamation case on you. That's what she told me. If anybody wants to get mad about me saying I want to go file for this, she wanted to put a defamation case on me. She wanted to throw me into a loony bin. I'm done with the abuse. I'm done with it. That's about it. Maybe in my next video I'll have something good to talk about, but I doubt it. Stay tuned. Check out my videos, not my lives. Go check out my recent videos, my short video, as well as my posted videos. Basically, that's showcasing a video game, Farmtown. It's just a farming, little Farmville-like game. You can actually earn on it. Right now, currently, you can absolutely earn on it. Press a button, list for sale, gets sent to your wallet, boom, you made money. You don't even have to pay any gas to go make sales on it. So go play around in the market for now. Like, jump into the game, get in it early. It's free to play, free to connect. There are strings attached in the way that you need to hold more of the token, but check my videos out. There are strings attached where you have to hold more of the token to actually gain priority to logging in. But you find that out when you log in the first time. You'll see that information. It's easy to see it. You need to hold like $5 worth of the token to start with. That's tier 1. You get $25 worth. That's tier 2. So look into all that stuff, but it's free to play. It's free to log in. You do not need to hold that many tokens to get in, even if there's a waiting list. Because what I mean by you'll see when you go on the site is there's a maximum amount of players. It'll say 600 right now. It was set to 3,000. That's when we had 3,000 people constantly in it. At one point, there was 4,000 or something waiting to get in, and there was like 1,000 people allowed in. So you had a waiting list. If anybody has been in the crypto space at all that's watching right now, there was a Pirates game that did the same thing where they had like a waiting list where you'd get in and it'd take you an hour to log in, but it was a money-making thing. So you'd be able to make money on it, and it was actually very successful, made some rich people. I'm in on a project that's brand new that could make me rich. So right now is actually, in these coming days, is a moment when I could possibly actually get rich on a fucking video game finally. And if I'm going to get disturbed during this time, then I've lost a once in a lifetime opportunity once again, because somebody is bothering me, is in my way. I don't want to blame other people for the problems. Just don't be the problem. It's easy. Don't be the problem. You don't have to insult people. It's unnecessary. Make tickets, be the man, to cash others out, be the kingdom. Well, that's the thing, is that you can be the kingdom. Buy a lot of something or hold a lot of something that ends up being worth a lot. If you're a crypto guru, this token is at the absolute, almost the absolute very bottom. Not the 100% bottom, like it's got some room. basically, obviously, you know, it could bottom out even more. I wouldn't buy into the token, but I would pay attention to that chart. I would look at all the information. There's like $18,000 in liquidity, so it's not a strong enough token to go like, I'm throwing $1,000 on it. You wouldn't want to do that. But to go look at it and see what's being built, if you've played Sunflower Land before, that's like a similar game. This one has a wither time. So if you don't harvest your crops in time, then they wither and they become useless, and then you got to clear them out. So there's actually a bit of a troll effect. You don't get to actually come back in 3 days and check in. You have to check back every day, or else you're out of the game. So that means the pressure is on for a lot of people and things become rare quicker. In Sunflower Land, you play it, you can log in every 3 days, log in freaking month later, and you'll still see the same crops growing. But it's got a marketplace on there, and that's where you're going to make your money, by selling stuff and then buying stuff for the right price, knowing what that price is. Anyways, I grabbed 50 of something that I'm expecting a 100x return on. That's how much I'm selling it for, and I'm not going any lower. That's what I set it in the market. So who knows? Maybe I'll find that now. Make parts for a ship, a birdhouse, camo cloak. Cloak it. Have fun with the garbage. It's somewhere else's problem. What the hell is this dude talking about, man? I'm reading this dude's comments. It's like he's got issues. But I gotta go. Have a good night, guys. Thank you for the likes. And much luck. Stay safe.